I remember there was a time when we was kings and queens, prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding of what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing, but not facing the facts that as a nation, we all done got lax and letting the devil control us. And thinking like them damn Africans, they sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Working hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we were some soldiers, but every second.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Shalom to everyone online. Welcome back to another live class. We're the ISB-HBK, Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 10 p.m., Friday, 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturday, 10 to 2 p.m. We also do our kids class from 11 to 12 p.m., 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Sunday. Okay? We're also going to be broadcasting live from Trinidad every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay? So watch out for that. If you're in San Antonio, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. We also have a location in Albuquerque, New Mexico at 501 Copper Ave, Northwest. Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. As well as a blog talk radio show, okay? So you can catch that Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. and that's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA. All right, that's Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. Okay. We'll also be having classes in Austin. We just don't have those times set, but we'll be doing class in Austin, Texas, and we'll let you know those times as soon as we get that rolling. Okay. For our live classes, you're here with us, ISB-HBK on YouTube. We also have our ISB-HBK cable show every Saturday at 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. You can stream that on hmstv.org, or you can watch it on Comcast local channel 17. Okay? If you have any questions, you can contact Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. You can contact Priest Ahawam at 832-941-2443. Or you can contact me at 303-557-8979. Hey, you can put, the same picture that they used for the first one.
The same picture?
You can do that. Yeah. Because the menorahs are up, right? Looks like the menorah.
It should be.
Oh, maybe that for any garments. Oh, no. Also, if you have any questions or concerns, you can email us at isbhbk@gmail.com. Okay? For any custom-made garments, or for Passover garments, or for any unity garments, you can go on Facebook and search Israel Wear, and then you can contact us there for anything that you need. If you want a Passover garment, we'll give you the details. We are collecting Passover garment money monthly. Also, the sisters do work on unity garments year-round. So get on Facebook, hit them up, ask for the details. They'll fill you in. All right? Any donations, any form of contribution is welcome and needed. Okay? Whatever you can give, any books, pens, papers, cars, clothes, computers, canned goods. We want it all, baby. We want it all. But no, we need it, man. I mean, the area that we in, we got a lot of people that come to the school needing food. A A lot of homeless people are around. They come, they ask, we give it to them. We need books for Trinidad as well as here. So whatever you can give in that regard is welcome. You know, Tawada, thank you for everyone that's been giving. We appreciate it. It's going to the school. If you want to give any monetary donations, we have the Wells Fargo account at 101-580-6167. And then we have the Gmail, the Google Wallet at isbhpk@gmail. So if you want to send anything electronic, you can do it like that. If you don't want to go to a bank, anything like that. But we do want to save the water for those that have been giving money. Brothers been buying books, apocryphers, Bible dictionaries, Zondervans, Babylon Timbuktus, right? So, you know, the water for that, like, again, it's welcome, it's needed, and it's for our growth, and most importantly, it's for our people. All right, so, and we also do our Penny Wars contest. That's an in-house contest that we do between brothers and sisters to raise money for the Passover, to get the location, the lambs. So if anybody wants to contribute to that, that's in the back. You're more than welcome. All right, so we're gonna do what we always do. Gonna open it up for questions. Whatever y'all got, go ahead and shoot, and we will do our best to answer your questions through the scriptures. Anybody got questions in class while we wait for them to get online? You can't get on the chat? My chat's empty. Or is it me? Yeah, one second. What did you say? 1 second. Send this link real quick. Henry, what's your question, bro?
Job chapter 12, verse 7 and 8.
Somebody get that.
Job chapter 7.
No,
Chapter 12.
Oh, 12.
Verse 7 and verse 8. I need to go. It's funny. I need to go over some. I need to reread this whole book. You know, as you get, and I think he did it. You know, I've read this a lot, the book of Job. But as you get older and you read something, you get a different insight. Something else is opened up. So I need to take the time to hit Job. But where we at?
Job chapter 12, verse 7. But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fish of the sea shall declare unto thee.
So what's your question about that?
So what do they mean about, like, you know, ask not the beast, they shall teach thee? Like, what would it be that the beast would be teaching me, and the fowl of the air would be teaching me, and the fishes of the sea, of the earth, the fishes of the sea shall
Well,
be hunted.
we gotta read up.
We gotta read up.
Gotta read up. So let's start at verse 1.
Okay.
And
Job.
see, let me see here. Man, I wish I could recap 1 through 11. I I would have to reread 1 through 11 to recap it.
Okay.
What happened in chapter 11? You remember? Because you got to understand that when you get into a certain part of Job, it's like Job will give some answers, and then because you got to remember it was Job and his three friends that came, or he had his 3 homeboys. They came to talk to him about what he was going through. So this story is this dialect between him and his 3 friends.
Okay.
You see that? What's up, your mind? What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, I was saying the one's over.
Yeah, because chapter 11, it said, then answered Zophar. So he's talking in chapter 11. Now, Job is answering what he said. So this is the thing. You kind of got to, to get a clear understanding of what's going on, you kind of got to read 11 to see what Zophar said.
Okay.
And then you got to see what all Job is doing is answering what he said. So, but let's start at verse 12. Chapter 12, verse 1.
Job chapter 12, verse 1. Job answered and said, no doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you.
Go ahead.
But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Yea, who knoweth not such things as these? I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon the Most High, and he answereth him. The just upright man is laughed to scorn.
Go ahead.
He that is ready to slip with his feet in a lamp is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease.
Go ahead.
The tabernacle of robbers prospereth, and they that provoke the Most High are secure. Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly.
Go ahead.
But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fish of the sea shall declare unto thee.
Go ahead.
Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord is hath wrought this, in whose hand the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind.
Right, that's what I wanted. So where we at?
Verse 11.
All right. Give me 1 sec. I want to see what Zophar was talking about. That's the thing. That's why I need to read this whole book of Job. You remember?
No. What was leading up to this point?
Yeah.
What's going on here is pretty much like
Use the mic.
So in Job chapter 12 verse 1 to verse actually read that. Start at verse 1 again.
Job chapter 12 and verse 1.
Go ahead and read down.
And Job answered and said, no doubt ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you.
So when Job's 3 friends came and they're trying to comfort him with the wisdom, they pretty much wasn't telling Job anything that he didn't know. So that's why, like in Job, in verse 7 and 8, he's like, but ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth not in all these that the hand of the Lord hath wrought this?
Right.
So Job is trying to show them, like,
even the animals, the earth knows that
it's the hand of the Most
it's the Most High that's putting me through this.
But his friends didn't see it.
They didn't see that because
His friends couldn't see it.
Right. Because what were they trying to do the whole time?
His friends were trying to make it seem like he did something wrong.
Right.
So they weren't trying to. His friends was trying to make it seem like he wasn't upright. He did something unrighteous, and that's why the hand of the Most High had touched him. So when his friends came and his friends was talking to him, they were trying to make it seem like he did something. They were trying to get him to confess what he did. So that's why I read verse 1 from the top.
Job chapter 12, verse 1. And Job answered and said, no doubt, but ye are the people, and wisdom shall die with you.
So Job is saying, like, okay, so you're the wisdom giver. So when you die, wisdom dies with you. You're the only one that has wisdom. But he's mocking them. He's not actually saying that. Read verse 3.
Verse 3. But I have understanding as well as you.
So Job is saying, yeah, I got wisdom too. I understand this just as well as you do. Keep reading.
I am not inferior to you.
And Job is reminding them, I'm not inferior to you. You're not my teacher. You're not above me. So what you're telling me is not something that I don't know. Keep reading.
Yea, who knoweth not such things as these?
Yeah, who knoweth not. So Job is trying to show him, like, yeah, this is common. Anybody with any sense pretty much knows this already. So there's a scripture also in Job that says, miserable comforters are ye all. And he's speaking of his friends because they weren't comforting him. So Job was put in a situation where he should be comforted by his friends, by his brothers, by his sisters, but nobody was showing him any form of comfort.
Nobody.
So his friends came, and they're talking with him, and they're supposed to be helping him, but they're not. So they're making the situation worse.
So they don't really understand what's going on in Job's view. And at the same time, Job, he's trying to explain to them like what he's going through and tell them at the same time that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because they're all trying to guess. Like, it's like this. It's like, let's say you're going through something, and you know in your eyes, you've done everything right in the Most High's sight. Me, this brother, and let's say this brother come to you, and basically what we're trying to do is say, well, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? Why would the Most High do this to you if you were perfect and upright? You see that? But even when you go back to Job chapter 1, it said what? That he was perfect and upright. So that's all it was. They were trying to give their discourse on what he was and wasn't doing. But then he came back in chapter 12 and was letting them know, like, listen, the earth, the fish, like, y'all are so simple that the animals can teach you that this is the Most High that's doing it. Not that I necessarily had to do something, but it's the Most High's will. You see that? So, yeah, I got to go back and get my Job on. You know, what else? What other question you got?
Isaiah 60, chapter 60, verse 8.
Isaiah chapter 60. That was a lot. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Go ahead, Henry.
Oh, what's up?
No, I was thinking maybe you might have to read up to explain that one, but I don't know.
Well, you know, the thing is, 90% of the time, you always got to read up. 90% of the time, we read up 90% of the time. Because, you know, a lot of times, most of the time, the answer to the questions are, you know, we always have a tendency to just like read fast. That's all it really is. We read fast and we miss the understanding of whatever it is. What was it? What verse?
Chapter 60, verse 8.
Oh, that's yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, read let's start at verse 1.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For, behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall rise upon thee, and his glory.
So what is it talking about right now?
So, to me, he's like
people.
But what's going to happen for them?
Yeah, this is talking about Israel getting back, restored into the kingdom. Right? That's what it's talking about. I think it says, for behold, darkness shall cover the earth, gross darkness to people. Right? But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and glory shall be seen upon thee. You see that? So what is it talking about when it says gross darkness? Darkness shall cover the earth. There's not going to be any wisdom in the earth. Because wisdom, the light represents the wisdom. You see that? So it was letting us know there was going to be a time when there was no wisdom in the earth. And gross darkness to people. The people were going to be. I mean, think and look at it.
I think I kind of like miss it when there's no wisdom in the earth. I mean, like.
Because light, remember when we do Sabbath, when we light the candles, what we say? The light represents the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So if everything is dark, what is it? What is there lacking?
Knowledge and understanding.
Right. The wisdom is lacking. So where we at?
Verse 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light.
Go ahead.
And kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Go ahead.
Lift up thy eyes around about, and see, all they gather themselves together. They come to see thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see, and flow together, and thine heart shall fear, and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee.
Right.
The forces of the
The
Gentiles.
sea represents the people.
The people?
Yes. The sea represents the people. So think about it. Let's go back. Because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto you. It's talking about the people are going to be converted unto you, unto our ways. They're going to come, when you read up, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light. You see that? They're just going to come because we light a candle? No, they're going to come and have to fall under the wisdom. They're going to be ruled by the wisdom. We're going to be the ones governing the world. You get that?
Yeah, I got that.
Like the way he said that. What's up here, Herman?
Just want to get the scripture.
Huh?
The scripture will be
Oh, we're at Isaiah 60 and verse 60 and verse 5. Yeah.
Oh, can I get the one on that point?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 23.
This is the swordsmith right here.
Said 8 and 3.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Zechariah what?
That's the one.
Chapter 8 and verse 23.
Oh,
Read where you left off at Isaiah, and then we'll hit Zechariah 8:23.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 5. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. Continue.
Yeah, keep reading.
The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
But why would the Gentiles be coming unto us? Read Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 23.
Zechariah,
Go ahead.
chapter 8, verse 23. Thus said the Most High of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew.
They're going to take hold of the skirt of the Jew. That's why the forces of the Gentiles will be brought to us. Yes, they'll be bringing us resources. They'll be returning our people, but they're gonna grab hold on our skirt, because our skirts is the fringes that represents the laws. So they're gonna grab hold of us and walk with us and want to learn the laws from us, because we're the ones that have the light. The light representing the wisdom. Keep reading. Go ahead and finish it.
saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you.
And that's why they're going to follow, because they know that the Most High is with us. He's always been with us. So they're going to see, okay, so you're the real Jew. The oracles were committed unto you. The service of the Most High was committed unto you. So from the beginning, the Most High ordained us to be priests, right? When we were in the belly, it says in Jeremiah chapter 1 and 5, He ordained us to be a prophet. Prophet is a teacher. So they're going to come to us so that we can teach them. That was our position from the beginning. We were supposed to teach the Gentiles the ways of wisdom, the ways of righteousness. But we fell. So now they don't come to us for the wisdom no more. They come to us for the negativity. But in this time, we're gonna return to that estate where we're bringing our people back to that righteousness. And the Gentiles, not only will they be bringing the forces of their resources, bringing our people back out of their country, out of their lands, they're also going to come to us for the wisdom as well. That's why that's another scripture where it says they're going to flow to Mount Zion, and it's in Isaiah.
It's probably 14.
Say 14?
No. I was thinking, but I don't think that's it.
Well, you get the point on that, right? Go ahead, read on. And back in Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they shall all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praise of the Lord.
Right. So it's just showing you that it's like when you read, hold that where you at. We were just here yesterday. No? Right. Day before, Saturday. Go back to Genesis real quick. Genesis, yeah, just turn right to it. Genesis 15, and you can start at verse 13.
Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs.
Right, so this was the Most High speaking to Abram, right? Letting him know that when he did have children, they were going to be a stranger in a land. Who was Abram's seed? Us. Right? Children of Israel. Read on.
And shall serve them.
Right, so he's letting us know we were going to be a stranger in the land and we were going to serve them. And this had a twofold meaning. It was telling us about the slavery in Egypt, but also the slavery here in America. Read on.
And they shall afflict them 400 years.
You see that? Read on.
And also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance.
Right, so we were in Egypt. When we left Egypt, the Bible says that we spoiled the Egyptians. Because on our way out, it said we borrowed from them, but we didn't borrow from them. We took. We took from them gold, silver, whatever we needed to leave on the Exodus out of Egypt, they gave it to us. We took it. They didn't fight it. They gave it up. So now when you go back into Isaiah 60, when it's saying, where you at? The multitudes of camels, right? I'm looking up this word, dromedaries, so y'all can get a better understanding. Isaiah 60. It's important to look up words if we can't pronounce it, you might as well look it up. That's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? If it's hard to pronounce, that means you don't know what it means. A dromedary is a young camel. A dromedary is a young camel. So it's just saying, all their young camels of Midian and Ephah, all the camels of these other lands, right? All they from Sheba shall come. So what do you do with a camel? What do they do with a camel? Yeah, you load them up. Camels can carry things. So it's just saying, It is going to be bringing things to us. Just like it prophesied in Genesis that the nation that puts us in captivities, we're going to be taking their resources. You see that? Watch. It's going to tell you. Remember, we got to look at punctuation. Read verse 6.
The multitude of camels shall cover thee.
Go ahead.
How do you say the word
The
again?
dromedaries.
The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah.
Go ahead.
All they from Sheba shall come.
Stop right there. We got a semicolon. Look at it. It's a semicolon. What the semicolon does is letting you know that the next sentence is going to explain the previous sentence before the semicolon. So now it's going to explain what it means by the camels and dromedaries are going to come. Read on.
They shall bring gold and incense.
Yeah, they who? Right, the camels and dromedaries is letting you know. They're gonna be set up with gold, incense. Go ahead.
And they shall show forth the praises of the Lord.
Right, and this is how they're gonna show their praise, by giving us obviously all these carnal things, but that's what we're gonna be using to build the kingdom. Read on.
All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar. I will glorify the house of my glory.
Go ahead.
Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as a dove, and as the dove to their windows? Surely the isle shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first.
Go ahead.
To bring thy sons from afar, their silver and their gold with
so it's
them.
just showing you that they're going to be just delivering. It is going to be just delivering what? Our children, right? Our people that were in slavery. They're going to be doing this. We ain't going to have to sit back. We're not going to have to demand it. You see that? They're going to just be delivering. Like, we're going to be sitting back like, damn, who are these people? Who's that? Who's that? But it tells you. Surely the isle shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far. You see that? Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as doves to their windows? Who are these people? Thy sons and thy daughters. Right, because that's what they're going to be bringing. Right. You're going to ask yourself, like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? It might not be your physical son, but it's just saying it's going to be your people. They're going to be returning our people. You see that? Read on.
Unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And thy son and the sons of the stranger shall build up thy walls.
Right, so, no, it's on it. Right, so, no, it's all good. So you see that, right? It says, and the sons of strangers shall do what?
Build up thy walls.
Right. And their what? Read on.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
Go ahead.
For in my wrath I smote thee.
Read.
But in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Read on.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
All right, so right there, that's also showing too. That's showing that when we're in our kingdom, when we're established, we won't have to worry about anything. So our gates, it's always going to be open. We won't have to worry about somebody coming in and trying to rob us. We won't have to worry about war, missiles. But what this is also showing, it's a future prophecy, right? So it's showing you that those people living in Israel right now, that they're the fakes. Because their gate, they can't just leave everything open. Because everybody around them hates them. You got Israel, you got the Palestinians right there at the Gaza border. So they always have to defend themselves from the Palestinians. They got to defend themselves from Iran, Iraq, Syria, all these countries that surround them, Afghanistan. No one likes them. So read that top part right there again.
Verse 11.
Yeah, verse 11.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually.
Go ahead.
They shall not be shut day nor night,
Go ahead.
that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles,
Go ahead.
and their kings may be brought. Verse 11. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Go ahead.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So the Most High is not going to be playing with them when it's time. Go to Isaiah chapter 2 and verse, we're going to start 2 and verse 2.
Where you at?
Just on this point.
Where you at?
That was in verse 12.
Go to Luke 19 and 20 before he does that. Go to Luke 19 and 20.
Oh, I'll get Luke.
Get Luke, and then, yeah, you get Isaiah. Just on that point, the nation that will not what? Will be what?
The nation.
Luke, what? Sorry. Luke.
Read that, Luke chapter 19 and verse 20.
Luke chapter 19 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
And another came, saying, Lord, behold, here is thy...
No, wait a minute, hold on.
You wanted 27.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I think so.
But those aren't my enemies.
Yup, that's what I wanted.
Luke chapter 19, verse 27.
27, right. Go ahead.
But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither, and slay them before me.
Wait, bring them hither, and we're just gonna all have like a hug party?
And slay them before me.
Well, Christ loves everybody.
And slay them before me.
Not my Jesus.
And slay them before me.
Yeah, you see that? That's what's gonna happen to the king. Think about it. The king represents his people. So that's why it says, for the nation and kingdom that does not, we're going to say, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Right? But when you read, there was a reason why he was bringing the kings, because the kings represented their people.
Yeah.
So if the king was like, nah, I'm good, his people were gone. He was the voice of the people. So you got these prideful ass dudes like Donald Trump. If Christ came today, you think Donald Trump will bow down to Christ? Nah. You're going to get this whole nation wasted. Putin, Vladimir, Vladdy, he going to bow down? Your guy, Kim Jong-il, right? Your guy in Iran, what's his name? Majamajad? I forgot his name. You think they're going to be they're prideful as hell. They ain't going to bow down to no Christ. They're going to be running around talking about Allah till I die. Guess what? They're going to get their whole nation wiped out. So, I mean, be careful. Where do you want to go after that?
We're going to go to Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2.
Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Most High's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Another future prophecy concerning our people, right? So it says that the Lord's house is going to be established atop the mountains. The mountains represents the other nations. So it's showing you that our nation will be atop of all the nations. Keep reading.
And shall be exalted above the hills.
It's going to be exalted above every nation, every country, every third world country, whatever it is. Keep reading.
And all nations shall flow unto it.
And not only are we above all nations, we're going to be exalted above all of them. Because right now we're at the bottom. But the Most High is going to raise us up. But all nations are going to flow onto us, onto our nation. Keep reading.
And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High.
You going?
To the house of the God of Jacob.
Now ask yourself, who's going to Israel right now? Nobody. Keep reading.
And he will teach us of his ways.
Who's going to Israel to be taught of the Jewish man's ways? Nobody. Keep reading.
And we will walk in his paths.
Nobody wants to walk in their paths.
Yeah, because that place is filled with nothing but homosexuals. When you go to Tel Aviv and places like that, they got like more gay clubs than Atlanta.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Israel is just filled with homosexuality. I mean, I don't gotta go there to learn that. Just look right out the window.
See it, yeah.
Yeah, I could just walk into the mall and be like, oh yeah, y'all niggas is gay. That's how they do it? Oh, okay, that's what y'all doing now? Cool. So ain't nobody flowing. You know what it shows you? That, like the scriptures say, when the true worshipers are in their land, the world will be at peace. Right? If that was the case, if those were the real people over there, why are we at peace? Because they constantly fighting over some land. The Gaza Strip, they fighting for that. Come on. And they've been fighting for that daily.
They also fight to build the temple.
They fight to, right.
Yeah, because the Muslims, they fight to build the temple because...
what, Palestine?
Hold on, do they have... I think they're fighting to build their temple because it's like a holy...
It's the holy land or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a holy place in that area where you have the Jewish people and the Muslims. They want to build that temple. And that's where the Jewish people, they say that when that temple is built, that's when the return of the Messiah is close. But that's what they say.
They ain't about that life.
Nah,
Well, y'all see that, right? Read on.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
So it says, out of Israel shall go forth the law. That's where it's talking. That's where when Christ says, bring them, those my enemies that I rule over them, bring them hither, let me slay them. That's because they're not going to want to do the law. Because out of Israel, that's where the law is going to be brought forth. So if you don't do it, these Gentiles don't want to do it, they're going to get slayed. Now, what laws are we following from them? What laws is the whole world following from them? And they're living over there. Keep reading. None.
And the word of the Most High from Jerusalem.
Keep going.
And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people.
Go ahead.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks.
See, their weapons are going to be broken into work-related weapons now. I don't want to say work-related weapons, but tools. Yeah, gardening tools. Because it's not going to be any more war. That's why the other scripture that we read previously said that our gates won't close night or day, because we'll be living safely. Won't be any more wars. Go ahead, keep reading.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Go ahead.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
So this is a real cold scripture right here, man. Isaiah chapter 2, down to verse 4. That right there proves, man, that the people living in Israel right now are not the true Israelites. It proves it. Just that last verse of chapter 4, that last precept. Read that again. Read that last precept again. And think about today's time. Think about today's time right now. Read that last precept again.
Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Think about that. Think about North Korea trying to go to war against the United States. Or the United States we already know this is the United States messing with North Korea. That's a potential war right there. Think about the war that's going on in Afghanistan right now. That's been going on for decades. The same war going on in Iraq. Same war going on in Syria. Say that the wars, rumors of wars all over. The potential war of Russia versus the United States. The potential war of Russia versus China. Ukraine versus Russia. That's going on right now. They're fighting against at the Ukrainian border. So this scripture, it can't be valid. This scripture wouldn't be valid right now if those people were the true Israelites. But they're not. This scripture right here, it also shows, man, it shows that they're not the true Israelites. Because war is still going on. The land is not at peace.
Go to Isaiah 14:1. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 1.
Read.
For the Most High will have mercy on Jacob,
Read on.
and will yet choose Israel.
The world?
Israel.
The Chinese?
Israel.
The white man?
Israel.
Read.
And set them in their own land.
So we're going to get our own land. Read on.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Check that out. There's going to be strangers with us. Alright? Strangers of other lands and strangers of Israel. You're a stranger, you don't know the law. So that's what it's telling us. Go ahead.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right. Let me cling to that man that is a Jew. Grab the skirt of the man that is a Jew. Nations shall come upon you. Go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
You see that? It says, and the people are going to do this. The other nations, they're going to be, think about it. If we all here, how are we going to get over there when it's time? We going to just float? Nah, guess what they're going to give us? Their boats, their ships, their airliners, their airplanes. They are going to be doing it. You see that? Free of charge. Yeah, they ain't going to be having to worry about no damn airfare. Abadiah.
And I guess that makes sense too after you broke down the chapter 60 where it talks about them bringing the kings.
Right.
Because if they don't have rulership, then they're not listening to them anymore.
Right.
They're listening to us. Then because they'll follow anybody.
Well, the whole purpose of bringing someone, listen, you bring the king, why? What does he do? He's the ruler of the people. Right? So if I'm going to negotiate something, I'm going to deal with the ruler.
Right.
Because now it's like, okay, we can talk ruler, Christ, it's a little bit of ruler down here of the people.
Right.
And it's like, listen, you know how it is. Get down or lay down. That's what it's going to be. On some state prop, right? On some BDC who get down or lay down. It ain't going to be really no negotiation. It's going to be like, you know what it is.
Right.
Get down or lay down. And if not, you represent your people. So I'm not even going to deal with your people. They're just going to get wiped out.
Right.
Because you make the decision for your people. But now it's going to be easier for people to say, you know what? Let's follow our king.
Right.
Where it's like, all right, let's bow down to this.
And is that where we'll see where when Christ comes back, and that's the scripture that talks about every knee shall bend and every tongue shall confess.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they'll actually see the true rulership, the true. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Read on. Oh, you got a question?
No, I was just gonna use a similarity, just like when they brought us into captivity, or they would take one of our noble men that everybody looked up to,
Right.
and they saw them do it, then the rest of the people.
Well, but see, this is the sad part, and we're gonna go back into it with this Willie Lynch, but they took our strong men. They didn't negotiate with them. They raped them physically. That's how they broke the people down. It wasn't like, let's talk to you. It was like, nah, we're gonna demeanor you in front of your family. You see that? So even us, you got to remember, there's always going to be righteousness coming from us, and there's always going to be a righteous way to deal, and we're going to give them a chance. It's not going to be the same way they did things that we're going to do things. We're always going to have that righteous rulership. You see that? Read on. Go ahead.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Most High.
See that? So they're going to be our slaves. Read on.
For servants and handmaids.
Yeah. For friends.
Servants and handmaids.
Yeah, but the white man is just so cool.
For servants and
But
handmaids.
the Chinese, man, they make some good ass food.
For servants and
Yeah,
handmaids.
they're gonna be cooking. You're gonna be a servant and a handmaid. Read on.
And they shall take them captives,
Fly lice.
whose captives they were.
They said they're gonna take them captives, whose captives they were. He that lead into captivity shall be led into captivity. Edith.
Is that whose captives they were? Is that meaning literally the spiritual part of them in the regeneration? They're gonna be, how can I say it? Whoever slaves they were, they're gonna be how do I say it?
Slaves to them.
Yeah, in the reincarnation part.
Oh, like if this certain like if a certain Willie Lynch, if he had a bunch of slaves, then now he's gonna be slaves to them or something like that. That I don't know. I mean, does it matter?
No, I was just wondering.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just saying. I mean, for me, it's just like, hey, it don't even matter. I'm just gonna have to pay. But nah, that's hard to say. Yeah, you're gonna be directly this guy's slave and revert.
But wouldn't that, even in that instance that Edith is talking about, that they would have to, in order to be in that position, get to that point of being servants of ours in captivity,
Mm-hmm.
their heart condition would have to be, like, they would have to be willing to, the Most High would have to want to have that covenant with them, or
Well, they would have to first bow to the law.
they would
Yeah.
have to be in the right spirit in order for the Most High to even consider them, right?
Yeah, well, listen,
Yeah.
wouldn't you get in the right spirit when you see a bunch of people get wiped out because they didn't want to listen? You'd be rebellious as hell, and all of a sudden you'd be like, yeah, let me get my spirit right. That would be the hope. Then obviously they're not all going to be in the wrong spirit, because we're going to have servants.
Right.
They're going to have to be around. So some of them going to get right and be like, yep, let me not die today. Let me serve out this bondage. Let me build these walls. Let me give up all I got.
Didn't die.
I'll die later. Right? Read on.
And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Yeah, see, we're going to rule over our oppressors. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in the day that the Most High shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
So what sorrow is those Israelis, those Ashkenaz, what sorrow are they going through? They living it up. They're getting like $8 billion a year from the government, from the U.S. government. They come over here, they get all the subsidized housing. You see that? They got their own court system, ambulance. They got their own community. What sorrow? What sorrow they got? They can fly to Israel for free. They got free health care. Listen, I know a cat in the mall, this Israeli cat. He got sick out in Israel. He had to get a appendix taken out. His appendix burst. He was in the hospital for like a couple of days. He got an infection, but he flew back to America. Listen, 4 days later, this dude flew back to Israel for the free help because he didn't want to stay in the American hospital because of the price. Just hop in plane. Like, I'm like, damn. He was like, yeah, it's too expensive. I'd rather just take a flight back to Israel and sit in the hospital for as long as I need to. It's like things like that where a black man's scared to go to the hospital because that credit gonna get touched. And then if you ain't got insurance, I remember back in the day, all you used to just give them a social. Come on, we all did it. All you do is ask for your social and they bill you. Then you got cats that give the wrong social. They just get billed. They don't care about the credit. The hospital takes the hit. But see, you go to these other countries and they get everything for free. The things that we should be getting. They call it the birthright. The birthright law. They can travel from America to Israel. They get free schooling. All this stuff. So I'm like, what sorrow y'all got?
Huh?
Read on.
And from thy fear.
What fear? The fear of what? You can't racially profile a Jew. You'll automatically burn. You can't do any crimes against these people. Because if you do, it's automatically anti-Semitic, racially profiled type of crime, some racial crime. So you automatically go into the jail for that. Read on.
And from the hard bondage.
What hard bondage? What bondage they got? Go ahead.
Wherein thou was made to serve.
Yeah, they never served no hard bondage. Hitler didn't put them in slavery. Hitler was running experiments on them, filling them up with acid, throwing them in gas chambers and giving them acid baths and burning them alive. That wasn't work. He made y'all guinea pigs. But then check this out. Jump down to verse 7. This is how we know that the people that are there don't belong there, and that the real people ain't there. Read verse 7.
The whole earth is at rest.
Wait, they're warring and bombs and everything is just crazy and chaotic?
The whole earth is at rest.
Read.
And it's quiet.
Yeah, man, this is quiet. Everything's like, damn. You sitting back like, damn, I remember when it was just so chaotic? You know, what's that? What, verse, where we at? Oh, yeah, I'm going to go down. Read on.
They break forth into singing.
They do what?
Break forth into singing.
They're going to be singing, man. Read.
Yeah. The fir trees rejoice at thee.
Yeah, the trees are happy. The trees rejoice like, thank God. Because the Bible says the earth is defiled by the inhabitants thereof. The earth is also given to the hands of the wicked. What does a wicked man do? He cuts down all the trees. He pollutes the air. So now when the righteous are back in rulership, it says the earth is at rest. The earth is at peace. So the trees are rejoicing like Baruch Yahweh. Read on.
And the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Right. Y'all see that? So that's what we're looking forward to, man. The whole earth is looking forward to it.
Cedars of Lebanon.
There's trees. There's trees. A cedar tree.
Go to Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10.
It's like volleyball in it.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10.
All right, read that.
Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar.
So the Most High is going to save us from afar, right? Why? Because we're scattered everywhere. We're scattered throughout all the countries, the four corners of the earth. Go ahead.
And thy seed.
And check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Read that again. Read that again.
Jeremiah chapter 30.
I'm gonna pause real quick before we jump down. Is the whole nation of Israel in captivity?
Oh, yeah.
Lie.
What you mean lie?
I mean,
The whole nation is not in captivity?
I know we scattered abroad.
Right. So
What
let me ask you a question. Okay, let me word it like this. Does you see from Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh. So Simeon, Zebulun, and Ephraim, what language do they speak? What language does Simeon speak? Spanish, right? So who are they conquered by? Spaniards. Zebulun, what language do they speak? Spanish. So they were conquered by what? Spaniards. So they were slave to what? No, not Portuguese. Watch. Ephraim speaks Spanish, right? Spaniards, but now they're like an American stepchild, right? Puerto Ricans. It's like an American port, but they don't give a damn about it. Y'all seen that with Harvey. Cuba, what do they speak? They habla the Espanol, right? Right. Gad, what do they speak? English. North American Indians, they speak English. Right now. I'm talking about right now. So they were conquered by who? The Americans. The British, right? Whoever came over. Columbus, right? They were, right? That's the language they speak. Seminole Indians, same thing, English, right? Argentina to Chile, they speak habla Espanol, right? Or Argentina, Chile, Colombia to Uruguay, Guatemala to Panama, right? Issachar, what? So, what language did they speak? We all spoke Hebrew, right? So, obviously, if I come over and change your language, what is the reason? To enslave you, so now you can't no longer communicate in the way you should to not be enslaved. If you can't understand the language, or if you no longer speak your dialect, it's easier for me to put you in bondage, right? So, let's read verse 10.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 10.
Read.
Therefore,
so we understand that all the tribes are in some form of slavery, right? Do we agree?
Come.
Read.
Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob.
Read.
Said the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo.
Wait. So Israel is what? What does that make up? Go ahead, read.
For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity.
Wait, of what?
Of their captivity.
So, the land of their captivity. What land is Ephraim captive to right now? Puerto Rico. Issachar, Mexico. Asher, Colombia to Uruguay. Naphtali, Argentina to Chile. So, for those that are saying that the 9.5, because it's funny, after we talked about that, I was on Facebook. I hate Facebook because they're whack. But even this right here, if you just look at it like damn, Simeon, I mean, were they there before they got conquered? Before they were made slaves? Were they there? Were the Dominicans in Dominican Republic before somebody took them there? Nah. What's the only way you can be taken somewhere? You have to be taken what? I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. So this right here shows that the nation, not just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, but the entire nation was scattered. Yep. So anybody talking about it was just the three Judah, Benjamin, Levi was the only ones that first you're trying to say only Judah was scattered, but no, it's telling us right here. The entire people, the entire nation was moved out of their land. Am I saying that there's no Israelites in Africa? Of course not. Of course I'm not saying that. Because guess what? They're in Africa too. But if Issachar is our people, we agree that Issachar is our people, right?
Gone.
We agree that Edith is our people, right?
Gone.
Right. Okay. I'm just making sure that we ain't trying to kick nobody out the chart, right? We agree that Shara, right? She's part of us, right? She's our family.
Gone.
Right. But their people are captive to a land. So the Bible is telling us that thy seed, and I will save them from afar from the land of their captivity. So we got to really look at that and be like, damn, okay, where are all our people captives? Because I don't give a damn. The whole nation is captive to not just the land, but the Edomite government that runs the land. Show me an Israelite that runs Mexico. Show me an Israelite that runs Puerto Rico. Show me an Israelite that runs Cuba. Show me an Israelite that runs America. Argentina, Chile, it's all white people. It's all Spaniards, right? French, whatever. British, they all run it. And we're slave to their society. I don't care what country you go to where Israelites at, the economy is crappy for them. Go to Puerto Rico. Go to Puerto Rico and actually look at how they live. It ain't no different than if you roll up to Harlem or you roll up to some hood in Louisiana. It ain't no different. You be like, damn, I thought I was in America. They're speaking lots of Spanish out here because the conditions are the same. So we got to remember that. Go ahead. I didn't want to. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that's perfect. Keep reading.
And Jacob shall return.
Go ahead. It says our people is going to return, right? Read.
And shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
So just on that point, the same point. So if we return, if the true Israelites return to the land, why are they not at rest?
Well, if they're there now, you mean?
Yeah, if they're there now, why are they not at rest? Why are they afraid? Why they still got weapons? Keep reading down. Verse 11, hit that.
For I'm with thee.
So that's why we won't be afraid, because the Most High is our shepherd.
Yeah,
one of the definitions of shepherd means he's our guide, he's our protector. So he says that he's with us. Go ahead.
Said the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee.
So when the Most High comes, when Christ comes back, oh yeah, he's done. He's done with them. Yeah, he's going to make that full end of destroying them. He's going to complete. The nation that will not serve thee shall perish. When Christ comes back, he says what? He's going to stomp them like in the wine press. He's going to take them out. Keep reading.
Yet will I not make a full end of thee.
So even though the Most High is going to do that to them, he's not going to do that to us. So when World War III happens, these bombs are being dropped, these nations are being destroyed, these people are dying from the pestilence, the disease, the lack of food. That won't happen to us.
But check this out. He said, I will not make a full end of thee. Why?
Because there's a remnant.
Because there's going to be some of us that want to be attached to these people. Like, no, not Billy. But Bailey was just so nice. Give a damn about that. There's going to be some of us that want to be homosexuals and drug dealers and pedophiles, right? And think that it's okay to celebrate Halloween and Christmas. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. Thanksgiving, all that. Even though it's going to be shown to them like, no, you ain't supposed to do that. Well, I don't see a problem. Well, guess what? You're going to get your ass wiped out. But he's not going to make a full end of us, because there are going to be some of our people, a lot of our people that are going to get it. 2/3 shall be wiped out. Go ahead.
But I will correct thee in measure.
Go ahead.
I will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
So see, the Most High is going to correct us in a measurable way. He's going to have that balance with us. He's going to show us the mercy, but he's not going to leave us altogether unpunished. We're going to pay for some of the sins that we did. Unfortunately, some of us are really going to pay. The brothers and sisters out there in the world that don't want to, like you were saying, that still want to be connected with them, they're really going to pay.
You're going to get cut off.
Verse 12, hit that.
For thus said the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous.
So the way the Most High hit us, because think about how we were on top. Think of how far and how bad we have fallen. Think about that bruise that the Most High has given us, that incurable bruise. That's why it says that in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68, when he puts us on the slave ships, and when we get off the slave ships and we're sold, no man shall buy you, meaning no man's going to be able to redeem you. Right. No man shall help you. That's that incurable. Read verse 12 again.
For thus said the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous.
So as you can see, that bruise and that wound that the Most High gave us, it's incurable. No man was going to be able to save us out of that slavery. Look at us right now. We're too far gone. Nobody can save us. It's done. I mean, when you see our people, man, just look at them. They're completely destroyed. The only one that can save us is Christ. That's the only one that can save our people. That bruise is too bad. It's incurable. That wound is way too grievous.
It's a deep wound with an infection. And it stinks and it's pussing.
And it's rotten.
And no matter how much Band-Aids you try to put on it, guess what? You can smell it. You can smell the fungus. You can see the green, yellow ooze. And you're like, damn, I don't want to deal with that.
You know what's funny?
Go ahead.
It's funny. I was talking to these two dudes at the mall today, right? And I was like, man, just when I thought the bar, I was telling them, just when I thought the bar couldn't get any lower for a black and Hispanic man, when I left high school, it got lower. And now I see y'all, because one of them was wearing a shirt of this little rapper. And I'm like, whoa, how the hell do you listen to this dude? You don't see him? You don't see he's destroyed? Look at his hair. So the rapper, like, he shaved his eyebrows off. He dyed his hair gray. He has, like, locks. So he just looks weird as hell. Tattoos all over his face. So I was telling them, I was like, the bar has dropped so low. Like, I remember when I was in high school, it was bad. But now it's dropped even worse. And now look at y'all. It's even worse. So when you look at our people, that disease and that wound, it's getting worse. Look at us on TV. It's incurable. But keep reading though. And when you look at those fake Jewish people, what grievous wound do they have? Those people living in Israel claiming to be us. What grievous wound do they have? What? They're not laughed at. They're not a mocking stock. Is it a mocking stock, the word I'm looking for? A laughing stock, like we are. People don't look at them and hiss and wag their head like they look at us and hiss and wag their heads at us. Keep reading, brother. Verse 13.
There is none to plead thy cause.
Nobody helps us. Nobody helps our cause. Nobody pleads our cause. Nobody wants to hear us. Those NFL players, they want to take a knee. just to shed some light on the situation and what's going on with the black man? They ain't trying to hear that. They turn it around and, oh yeah, you disrespecting the flag, you don't give a damn. Nobody wants to hear the black man's cause. Keep reading.
That thou mightest be bound up.
Nobody's going to hear our cause so that they can help us. They don't give a damn about us. Nobody's going to try to heal our wound. Keep reading.
Thou hast no healing medicines.
We have no remedy. Our only remedy is the scriptures. Returning to the Most High. Verse 14.
All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
Go.
They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with thy chastisement of a cruel one.
Go ahead.
For the multitude of thy injury, because thy sin is in...
Sorry, it says for the multitude of thine iniquity.
It's a lot.
Go ahead.
For the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
And you see that today. The Most High keeps on wounding us because of the sins that we've committed and how it keeps on increasing. But read down. I want to get to verse 16. Go ahead.
Why criest thou for thy affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee.
So when you see our people in the state that they're in right now, and the state that we've been put throughout history, now you see why. Because of it says, because thy sins were increased, I have done these things unto thee. Verse 16, that's the last one.
Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured.
So everyone that devoured us, everyone that put us into slavery, the moment Christ comes back, they're going to be devoured. Go ahead.
And all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
Bam. Keep reading.
And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled.
It's all going to come back on them. Go ahead.
And all that prey upon thee, I will give for a prey.
The table shall turn, baby.
Got it.
The table shall turn. But yeah, that's it on that.
Y'all get the point? Con. Okay, we got a question online real quick. And we're going to try to jump into class. It says, if a brother does not want to be rebuked, what do you do? Well, he doesn't want to be rebuked. What do you do? Well, for one,
bring 2 or 3.
You gotta go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 7. The Apocrypha.
What was it in?
Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Yeah, go ahead.
Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Go ahead.
Understand first.
Right. So, I'm just giving you like a quick order of operations. If you do gotta check somebody, it says to do what? Read it again.
Blame not before thou hast examined the truth.
Right. So just make sure that you're not blaming a man before you've actually sat back and examined what's going on. Read.
Understand first.
Right, you got to understand the situation first. Read on.
And then rebuke.
And then rebuke. Read.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause.
Yeah, don't give an answer before you've heard the cause. What verse you at?
Verse 8.
Read.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
Right, so you got to let that person talk. That's one. Jump to Ecclesiastes 31 and 31.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 and verse 31.
Right, so let them get it. Oh, we got it. Oh, yeah, see? Yeah, you want to drop all that?
No.
I'm playing. Go ahead.
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine, and despise
so you got to make sure that when this correction is coming, you're not what?
Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine.
Guys, you gotta make sure you guys ain't drinking, none of that. Make sure that we all got sober heads, clear minds, right? Go ahead.
And despise him not in the mirth.
Yeah, you ain't
in his
supposed to.
mirth.
He's all happy and doing his thing, and you want to just check him, right? Read on.
Give him no despiteful words.
Read.
And press not upon him with urging him to drink.
Okay, so that's going to another point, right? So just giving you the guidelines on, or a few guidelines on how to make sure that when you're coming at a person, you understand first, there's no alcohol or anything like that involved. We want sober minds and clear heads, right? Now the person that you're rebuking, they gotta understand a few things. Go to Go here. Go to Proverbs real quick. Oh, Psalms 14. 141 and verse 5, excuse me.
Psalms 141 and verse 5. Let the righteous smite me.
Right. So the Bible says, let the righteous correct me. Let the righteous smite me. So the person that you're dealing with, they got to understand this. If you're coming from a scriptural base, they got to, hopefully they understand also the scriptures, because it's hard to correct a person with the Bible if they don't understand it. So hopefully they're understanding that you're coming from a good place. Read on.
It shall be a kindness.
It shall be a kindness. Why? Because they know they should know that there's no ill will or ill intention coming. If it's all coming from the word of the Most High, then it's not my opinion. It's not some vain opinion that I just made up. Look, the Bible says don't do this, but you're doing it. So look, let's see what the Bible says. So it says, let the righteous smite me, right?
Kind.
It shall be a kindness. Go to Proverbs 3 and verse 8.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 8. It shall be health to thy navel.
Go ahead.
And marrow to thy bones.
Right. See, the correction, they got to realize that is going to be health to thy navel and marrow to the bones. Did you have something?
Yeah, because that correction, you're being corrected usually because you're doing something wrong. So that person's correcting you because they love you. And correction is never, what does it say? It says correction is never, it never feels good.
It's not joyous. It's not joyous.
Yeah, Hebrews.
Correct.
Yeah. Correction for the present time is never, is not
Says
joyous.
no chastisement at the present is joyous but grievous. Let's get it. So we know that a person, first of all, you got to make sure the person's in their right mind to understand what's going on, why they're being corrected, that a righteous man through the scriptures is trying to correct them, right? It's going to be why? Health to their navel, marrow to the bones. That's what's going to strengthen them, right? But if they're not trying to hear you, you got to understand. Go to where was your page at? Somebody get the one in Hebrews. Get the one in Hebrews, and then go here. Go to Proverbs 15 and verse 10.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 10. Oh, you wanted the Hebrews first, huh?
No, get the Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 10. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way.
Yeah, correction will be grievous when you forsake the way. Because think about it. You're walking down the path, right? Think about you walking down the straight line right here. But you start going to the right. But they push you back. If that is grievous to you, that means that you didn't want to go straight in the first place. So if you're going straight, but then you start turning right, or you start turning left, and then somebody's correcting you to get you back on the path of going straight, and you don't like it, you didn't want to go straight. You actually like going left. So a lot of times, man, when we do, there's a scripture in Psalms that says to forgive me for my secret faults, right? So a lot of us have these secret faults. We have faults in ourselves that we don't know about. So no one is trying to be corrected, of course. But if you do get corrected, usually it's because you didn't know. So somebody's correcting you. It's a secret fault. It's a fault that you didn't know you had. So you're being corrected and you're being brought back to the way. It shouldn't be grievous to you if you actually care. If you care, it shouldn't be grievous. But if you don't care, that's when it becomes grievous. Go ahead and read.
And he that hated reproof shall die.
And if you hate that correction, you're going to die. Because there's only one path, right? That path is Christ. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's the only path. So if somebody sees you straying off that path, you're straying into the path of death. So if they're correcting you, it shouldn't be grievous, you know?
Right? Actually, you don't even got to go to the Hebrews. Because watch this. So you're dealing with this person, you're correcting them, right? Go to Titus 3 and verse 10. See, there's methods. Titus 3 and verse 10.
Titus chapter 3, verse 10. A man that is an heretic.
Right, a heretic. He's going against. Right? He's going against the correction. A man that is an heretic, read.
After the first and second admonition.
Right, so you're supposed to go to this person at least 2-3 times. Admonishing, the first and second correction. Read.
Reject.
Yeah, it's saying after you already went a few times, it says to do what?
Reject.
Read.
Knowing that he that is such is subverted.
Yeah, when they're subverted, they're no longer rooted in the faith. They're uprooted. They're subverted. Meaning they've been plucked up. When you subvert, that means to overthrow. To overthrow an authority. They're subverted, so you're not going to deal with authority or your authority. That's why the Bible says to reject them. Go ahead.
And sinneth, being condemned of himself.
Yeah, because he's in that condemnation mode. But he's going to be checked. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee. So a lot of times, man, people don't want to be corrected, but what did Paul say? He said he had to deliver such up to Satan. He had to deliver certain men up to Satan so that, why? The Most High going to deal with them. A lot of people don't, the Most High speak once, yea, twice. Speak once through the law, another time to a man, but men perceive it not. So now you got to deal with the Most High. And it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, right? Yeah, so if they don't want to hear you, man, as long as you know, the scriptures say that we're watchmen and we watch for their souls. So as long as you do your part, then it's not on you. As long as you told them, the blood is off your hands. You read that in Ezekiel. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, like even Christ in Matthew. We don't got to go there, but don't cast your pearl to swine. Right? Because they'll trample it. They don't understand that correction, what even correction is. The scriptures say that when you're chastised, you're dealt with as a son. But if you're not chastened, you're a bastard. You're a fatherless child. So, you know, maybe this person doesn't understand, but you got to come to them a few times. And if they reject it, all right, well, you have to deal with the Most High on that. Deliver such one up to Satan. Sounds harsh, but hear what it is. Let's see here. Thank you for sharing this with me. Shalom. We are not Man, we were trying to get it popping in Baton Rouge about a year ago, but the flood kicked us out. But we're not in New Orleans as far as our school, but there are other schools in New Orleans that are out there. I know there's some other schools out there in New Orleans. You just gotta kind of search around, but they're out there. There's brothers out there. Any other questions? No? No? Everybody good? All right. Well, nothing online. If y'all got questions online, you can ask them. We're just going to go into this class. It's a continuation of what we went over about a week and a half ago. So we're going into Willie Lynch in the Bible, right? So this is basically part 2. So where we left off at, brief synopsis of what we dealt with. Let me get there. We were talking about, we were going into this Willie Lynch to show who was here, right? You're online. Okay, so we were kind of going into this Willie Lynch to show how all the way from slavery until now, how the Black, Hispanic, Native American woman has attained this false independence. And we were showing how the power was stripped from the Black and Hispanic man and then transferred over to the woman, right? And we were going through it. We were reading through this Willie Lynch letter and just showing certain points and then relating it to the scriptures to show, listen, the Bible said it was going to happen, and now history is just playing it out, right? So where we left off was, one sec, let me, where we left off at was, I know we were in Ezekiel, right? And we were going into how I'll go there. Give me 1 second. Let me just turn my screen. I don't know where my fire is.
So, we had left off in Isaiah.
Isaiah what?
It was Isaiah 1, 5 through 6.
Isaiah 1. Yeah, we did because that's part of the Ezekiel. Yeah, Isaiah 1, 5 and 6. Yeah, because it was actually Isaiah 1 and 3 through 7. Con. So just to get everybody kind of back in a place where we can all start from and understand, I'm going to start at the Ezekiel. It just makes it a little bit easier for those that weren't with us last week or the last class. All right? So, where is it? Okay. So basically, so I'm going to have you read, right? I'm going to have you read. My mate, start up here. Yeah.
All right. It says, this is a perfect situation of sound sleep and economic. Before the break-in process, we had to be alertly on guard at all times.
Right, because what Willie Lynch was letting them know is that the slaves, they were always active, they were always moving around, right? When the master was asleep, the slave was up, trying to do what? Escape, trying to get away. So he's saying, now after the break-in process, now we can get some rest. Now we can sleep because we got him in control. Go ahead.
Now we can sleep soundly.
For
out of frozen fear, his woman stands guard for us.
Right. Because since now the woman is broken to the point where she's independent, she got the kids in check, and the man is in the background, what happens? Anybody that gets out of line, what's the woman going to do? She's going to report to master. Why? Was it because she was just wicked and crazy? It was out of fear. It was out of fear for her children, her son being emasculated, her daughter being raped, her husband being furtherly emasculated, castrated, injured, raped, right? Go ahead.
He cannot get past her early slave molded process.
Go ahead.
He is a good tool, now ready to be tied to the horse at a tender age.
Right, talking about the son. Her son can't get past the process. Now he's ready to be linked up with his horse, right? With the same, they broke the horses and they broke the men together so they could work in unison. Go ahead.
By the time a nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for a long life of sound and efficient work and the reproduction of a unit of good labor force.
Yeah, by the time, think about it, by the time a black man is 16 in this society, what's he ready for? Go be a good, go get a job, be a good student, right? Be all you can do, get you ready for the army. All you gotta do is 4 more years and you're in there. See, the mom, instead of instilling some different values, because she's been broke, now she has to instill in him, like we were talking about before, go be a football player, go be a dancer, go be a singer. She has to instill in him that now he has to be the one to go and dance and tap dance for society to make it. The only way you're gonna make it, son, is if you throw a football, or if you throw a baseball, or if you pick up a microphone, right? It's the only way. So she's prepping him through all this breaking. She's breaking him into society, drugs, or she's broke him to the point where he's looking for a man figure. So what does he do? There ain't one around. So he goes to the streets. The streets raised me. The homeboys was my daddy, right? So because think about it. When do a lot of these black males pick up guns, drugs to sell? Not when they 30. Not in their 20s. They do this like at 12, 13, 14. All them cats in Chicago, they've been gangbanging since they was like 9 years old. All the way up until they die at 13. Because moms, in some way, shape, or form, she's been built to not... Moms has been built that when a man does come around, her mind is in, I'm the man, I'm the leader, I'm the backbone, I'm the strength. So when this man comes, what happens? He has no place, right? And as soon as he messes up, it's like, oh, you worthless, you this, you. Or I got all I need, my food stamps, my WIC, my TANF, I got all that, so I don't need a man. So there's no figure for the son, right? Go ahead.
And it's Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Right. Go to Jeremiah 2 and verse 14. Man, that was in me.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
Is Israel a servant?
Right. So this is the question. Is Israel a servant? Well, through the process of life as it is now, he's being made into a servant. By the conditioning, he's being made into this servant for society in all different type of capacities. Read on.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Hell yeah. When you're growing up like this, you are. But it shouldn't be like that. Read on.
Why is he spoiled?
Why is he spoiled? Who's spoiling this man? Who's spoiling him? Well, we know that, but who's helping to perpetuate that? Mom. Mom. The black woman. Y'all see it. Y'all be online, and you see the mom, and she's dressed in a tight-ass blue jeans and some shirt, and then she got her son dressed just like her, in tight-ass blue jeans and some weird shirt. And it's like, wait a minute. Why is he dressed like that? Yeah. Or she lets him run around in her shoes, or like... Listen, man, I read up on my son this morning. He had all the dolls on the kitchen, on the living room table. Taking a shower, and I came out and I looked. I was like, what's going on here? I was like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, I'm playing. See, he thinks he's just playing, but he's playing with dolls. So I'm like, nah, bro, men don't play with dolls. You got Go play with some dirt. I'd rather you play in the plant, dig up some dirt, than be playing with dolls and dressing dolls. Because what it does, it instills in them that anything is okay. There's no borderline. There's no code. There's no standard. There's no restriction. He's only 4, but if I just said, he's only 4, that's what they do. He's just a baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but then how long is he just a baby when he's 9 and he's dressing like you? Mom? He's 9, 10, 12, and then all of a sudden, by the time he's 15, it's like, damn, I don't know how he became gay.
Or like when they do something or act out in a feminine way.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's
so cute.
Oh, he's just joking.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's cute. Mm-hmm. It's cute.
They get praise from that, and so they want to continue to do more of that.
They continue to do it. But see, that's why it says, why is he spoiled? Why are the men spoiled? Because the women, they think that everything is cute. Oh, let me talk to him in baby talk and goo gagas, and let him get away with things. But that's not the way it was supposed to be. And then when you're a father trying to do what? Set rules, restrictions. It makes it harder when the woman is like, nah, he can get away with it. Let him do it. You're too mean. You're too rough. You're too this. You're too that. It shows the child that there's discord. It spoils him. It spoils his mind because he knows now, dad says no, mom says yes. I'm going to go behind dad's back. Mm-hmm. Because why? Dad is not a forefront. He's not that male strength figure. My son tries to do that. I'd be like, hell nah, bro, you ain't gonna go do that. And then he try to go to his mom, and he's so brave, he does it right in front of me. Like, I'd be like, no, man, can I get something to eat? And it'd be like 1 in the morning. I'm like, bro, you supposed to be asleep. No, it's 1 in the morning. Can I get something to eat? No. Mom, dad said no, but can I get something to eat? He does that. Yeah, right in front of me. I'm like, bro, you don't see me here? And then I just let her tell him no. So you can see that we united here, brother. You ain't smart. You ain't slick. You ain't cute. The answer. I just said I am cute. Right. So, but they try to be slick. But if his mom was always feeding into what he got going on, it would spoil him. Y'all see that?
Done.
Jump. Keep reading. Jump down.
Oh, not Jeremiah.
Yeah, not Jeremiah. Or was there more?
No, that was it.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, continually through the breaking of uncivilized savage nigger, by throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independence.
Yeah, that frozen state came when what? They broke that man right in front of her. When they tied that man up, beat him up, raped him, tarred him, feathered him, tied him to 2 horses, and pulled him apart. That would send anybody into a psychological shock. Yeah. I'd be shocked if I seen that. I'd be like, damn. I'm good. Y'all got it. Ain't no rebellion here. But that's what it was meant to do.
Yeah. I was just going to say, because that's our natural order with the Most High instilled in us, is that's our head.
Right.
And when our head is like ripped from us, it is like, oh, crap, I don't have a head anymore.
Right. And also, the Bible says, rebuke them openly so that all may fear. So that's what they did. They rebuked the man in open court, in the public view. So what? To instill fear so that all may fear. You see that? I would have been, if I was a plantation owner, I would have been nervous. Like, damn, can't turn my back on these dudes because they might string my ass up. So let me continue. Even if I had a heart for these slaves, it was like, nope, I ain't gonna have no heart for these dudes because any type of weakness, they might string me up and feather me and tar me and rape me. So all feared. So what it did, it kept everybody in check. You see that? Where you at?
All right. It says, by killing the protective male image.
So they destroyed the image. Go ahead.
And by creating a submissive, dependent mind of the nigger male slave.
Right.
We have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own actus forever.
Right.
Unless a phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the male and female slaves.
Right. So it was showing you that things got out of order. The woman became the man became the woman. The man child became the woman child became the man child in psychologically thinking. The way they thought things were supposed to be. The woman became independent, the man became dependent. The woman's child became dependent, the man child became dependent. It wasn't supposed to be like that. But it said unless some roles were reversed, unless something happened, so the only thing that could happen was what? You get that wisdom. Right? Now let's get into Ezekiel. Let's jump back into it. Ezekiel 37. And this is the perfect story to show where now, as we get the wisdom, this is the only way, this was the only thing that was going to restore us back to the proper order. Ezekiel 37:1. Who got it?
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
The hand of the Lord was upon me, and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord, and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones.
Right. Get Revelations 11 and verse 8. So Ezekiel is saying that the Most High took him into this valley and set him down in the midst. So this valley represents something. Symbolism here. So this valley, which was full of these bones. The bones represented something. The valley represented something. Read Revelations 11 and verse 8.
Revelations chapter 11 and verse 8.
And
their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city.
Go ahead.
Which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt.
Yeah, this great city, right, was full of these bones. Today, what is spiritually Sodom and Edom? And Egypt, excuse me. What country would that be?
America.
That would be right here, America. This is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt. Not because we want it to be, because the things that they do, the homosexuality, the bestiality, they're not giving a damn about the Most High and His laws. Chiefly. We don't got to bow down to the Most High. We ain't going to let you free so you can serve your God. We ain't going to give you your land so you can serve your God. We're going to keep y'all as mental slaves. Homosexuality and bondage. Okay? Jump back to Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 2.
And caused me to pass by them round about.
And get Amos 8 and verse 11. Go ahead.
And behold, there were very many in an open valley. And lo, they were very dry.
They were very dry. Why were they dry? Why were these bones? Of course, bones are supposed to be dry, right? That's what happens to bones when there's no skin, anything. So we know bones are automatically dry, but why would he have to say that? Because we know it ain't talking about real bones. Right? It's talking about dried up people. Read Amos chapter 8 and verse 11. If I'm going too fast, let me know.
Amos chapter 8 and verse 11.
Read.
Behold, the days come, said the Most High God, that I will send a famine in the land.
Right, so when there's a famine, things dry up. See, a famine is a drought. And there's no food, water, whatever. But things dry up. So the Most High said, I'm going to send a famine in the land. But what was this? Why were these bones dry? Read on.
Not a famine of bread, nor of thirst.
Yeah, this ain't no thirst. This ain't no physical bread or water. Read.
For water, but of hearing the words of the Most High.
Yeah, because these bones got dried up. These people got dry in the spirit. They got dried up physically. Think about it. You go out here and you drive down Bissonnette. Is this Bissonnette? Yeah. You drive down Bissonnette, and they just dry as hell. The drug dealers are dry, right? The hookers is dry. The people just walking around looking dry. It's like, hey, you look dried up, man. Like your whole spirit is just being sucked from you. Why? Read on. It said from here, because they're not hearing the word of the Most High. Right? Where you at?
Amos chapter 8 and verse 12.
Read that.
And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north to the east.
That's it on that. So they were dry. Go to Isaiah Go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. See, so our people is showing here that through slavery, our people got dried up from the wisdom of the Most High. Our people were dry as hell. They left off the wisdom. Their spirits got sucked dry. Now we're able to be manipulated in any way, shape, or form for the white man. Because that's all it is. They manipulated us. They manipulated the women. They manipulated the children for their own benefit. Because we have no wisdom. Read Isaiah 5 and verse 13.
Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Therefore my people are gone into captivity.
You see, we were made captive. Go ahead.
Because they have no knowledge.
Wait, because we were the best people on earth?
They have no knowledge.
Wait, because we followed the laws?
They have no knowledge.
Yeah, that's why our people are dry. When you're in captivity, you just dry lips, dry mind, body just look emaciated, right? You just hungry, thirsty. But it's because you have no knowledge. Read on.
And their honorable men are famished.
They're what?
Honorable men are famished.
Yeah, they're dry. Read.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Yeah, but it wasn't a thirst for food, as Amos said. It was a thirst from not hearing the wisdom. Read on.
Therefore, hell had enlarged herself.
You see that? Therefore, now hell enlarged itself. Read.
And opened her mouth without measure.
Yeah, because slavery, there was no, let's cap the torture. Like, you taking it too far? Hell nah. There was no taking it too far. Yeah. Anything went. Go ahead.
And their glory.
There was no glory. It was stripped. Your glory as a man, the head of your household. I got my beautiful family. Guess what? Now you the woman. Now you got a man treating you like a woman, raping you. Right? Now you getting treated like some animal, getting tarred and feathered. Getting pulled apart by a horse. Where's the glory in that? Read on.
And their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you go to today, where's the glory? Where's the black man, Hispanic man, Native American, Indian man's glory? Okay. You said what? Okay. Yeah, they take glory in being homosexuals. I'm a faggot. I'm a flaming fag. That's their glory. I take glory in my car. Look at my boob. I take glory in my shoe. Man, look, these are $700. Right? My Gucci belt, my pants hanging off my ass. That's what they glory in. They don't glory no longer in their families. They don't glory in the fact that I'm making beautiful babies. Let me take care of them. The glory is, I banged like 1,000 chicks by the time I was 21. I sold 1 million kilos of drugs by the time I was 35. They know me on the block. That's the glory. But there's no wisdom in that. That's why you in captivity. That's why that same block you hustling on, you don't even own. That same block you hustling on for 30 years of your life, you don't own it. Your mama don't own it. Your grandpa don't own it. Nobody owns it. You can get kicked off at any minute. If they want to say, if the white man want to say, you know what? We're just going to we're going to raise y'all's rent by $1,000. You niggas will be homeless. They're doing it now. All they got to do is raise the rent to get y'all out. Then knock down the building and then build something better that white people could afford. So where's the glory in that? Y'all see that? Go to Hosea 3 and 6. Isaiah 1 and 3, slot. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. Just breaking down this verse 2 in Ezekiel. Just getting some better understanding of why these bones were so damn dry. And what it meant. Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Yeah, see these animals, these dumb animals that just walk in circles, milling grain and plowing. When the time comes, they know their own owner. They know where their power comes from. They know where their food comes from. They know where their reward comes from. Read on.
But Israel does not know.
Yeah, we don't even know. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Read.
My people does not consider.
Yeah, you don't even consider. See, our people are so destroyed, we don't even consider the small things. We don't even consider the Most High. Because everything we do, everything that happens to us, we did it. The pride got you puffed up. The Most High said he hated a proud man that's broke as hell. You broke as hell, but proud? Come on, read.
Our sinful nation.
Read.
A people laden with iniquity.
Yeah, y'all laced up with iniquity. You're a sinful ass nation. Read.
A seed of evildoers.
Yeah, and there's nothing but evil coming from this people. There's nothing, when you lack the wisdom, you're going to do whatever the heart desires. And the heart is desperately wicked and deceitful above all. So you're going to just be doing wickedness. You're going to create wickedness. You're going to run to wickedness. Go ahead.
Children that are corrupted.
Yeah, and everything you touch is going to be corrupt. Because there's no righteousness in us. Go ahead.
They have forsaken the Most High.
Yeah, we don't even consider the Most High. We forsaken him. Like, yeah, he got us out of captivity a few times, but what's God doing for me now? What's he doing for me now? I don't see no God. I am God. That's the black man. That's why your ass is so dry on them corners. I am God. Hey, nigga, stop. If you God, then why the hell you paying taxes? If you God, why you paying rent? If you God, save me. Right. Save me if you God.
Right.
Save yourself. But see, our people, the thought process is so messed up. It is so counterproductive. It's contrary to wisdom. So you preach that you God, but I don't see no God-like works. I don't see nothing godly about you. You barely know how to wipe your ass, but you're God. It makes no sense. You can barely support yourself, but you're God. It don't make you can't even support your children and woman in wisdom, but you're God. It makes no sense. Read on. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how are you a God if you're in a jail cell?
Yeah.
If you're locked up in jail.
But see, the one true God said that you would be there. Yeah. The heaven above thy head will be like brass, and the earth under your feet will be like iron. Yeah. He put you there because you ain't God. Allison.
That reminds me like Kanye West. He kept saying that over and over again.
I am a God.
Yeah, and the next thing you know, he's like in rehab for depression.
Yeah. The Most High would not be mocked. Right. Because I can understand if he was like, I am a God. Because are we not gods? Right? I'm a God. But I understand one thing. I'm not the God. I am not God, the almighty supreme being. I'm not that God. The Most High said, ye are gods, but ye shall die like men. Why? Because of the sin. He created us to be immortal. We lost that. Yeah. So, yeah, Kanye, he prideful as hell. But now, yeah, he rehab, he's fat. Dude gained like 1,000 pounds. Hey, be quiet back there, Noah. You hear me? All right. Read on.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel.
Go ahead.
Unto anger.
Yeah, because we want to chase everything. We want to be gods. We want to, oh no. Here it is. The black woman is God. There it is. That's what it is. I'm not the God. The black woman is God.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Well, you got to look at it. You know why the black woman is God? Because when your ass was a slave and they raped you and castrated you and buried you in the ground, she had to be your God because she was able. She had the wherewithal and the wisdom to know. Okay, let me learn how to use wisdom to get out of situations. Right? She understood that there was a situation that they were in, and there was nothing that she could do to get out of it but submit. So, like, it always reminds me of the photo where it has the woman crying. It's a drawing, it's a painting. She's crying, but she got the black man over her shoulder, and the flag is over his back. Y'all ever see that? And it's like it says like I forgot the caption they put to it. Like the woman is the black man's savior. Because guess what? They made her your savior.
Wait, how's the picture go?
It's like a woman. It's a profile, and then she got the black man draped over her shoulder, butt naked.
Is this painting you talking about part of the Harlem Renaissance?
I don't remember. I just see it on Facebook a lot. But people caption it different ways. They meme it. But it basically saying that the black woman is carrying the black man on his shoulder.
Oh.
On her shoulder.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that painting before.
But this is the thing. They made it like that. It wasn't all like, listen, the black man carried his whole family on his shoulders before slavery. Before you was made into a punk. Before they systematically turned you into a biatch. Before they took your strength, you were the one carrying the nation on your shoulders. You were a god to your woman. But now your woman is a god to you. And then you got these simple idiots with no knowledge running around talking about the black woman is God because she gives life. Because her womb. Right? They praise the unk. That's the vagina. And this represents this. And all types of crap that makes no sense. I mean, it makes sense to them. I mean, I get it.
They do the same.
What's up?
They do the same thing with the so-called Valentine Day.
Yeah.
It's like a twofold meaning. Like one of them is the massacre, and then the other one, the little heart that they show you. You know, that's really like
the badge, right? Yeah, but then all these guys do is just worship the vagina. That's it. Where's the wisdom in that? See, that's what they've reduced our men to. Worshiping butts and breasts. No wisdom, no knowledge. You get the butt and breast, and then you don't even know how to take care of the after product of the baby that comes out after you do whatever you do. Right? Go to, finish reading on.
They are gone away backward.
Go ahead.
Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more.
Mm-hmm.
The whole head is sick.
Yeah, the head is sick because now the head thinks that he's the tail. The roles have been reversed. Read on.
And the whole heart faint.
Yeah, now you just, like I said, when we read up earlier last week, it said the man was in the background weak. He was in the background like a little woman, shivering and scared, hiding behind his wife. No, master, don't get me. Read on.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
From the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it.
And this is how we know there's no soundness in, if you look at the head of the man, down to the children, right? The man is the head, down to the children, the foot of the body. Look at our nation. Look at our people. Look at the children that we produce. Look at the children that the black and Hispanic man produces. The scriptures say they will give birth to monsters. Little nigglets. Little nappy-headed, no respect, no sense of anything, right? No morals. Because if the head is sick, the stomach's gonna hurt, the legs gonna hurt, the feet gonna ache, right? The toes gonna be messed up because you don't know how to take care of the body. If the head is sick, the body ain't gonna get taken care of. So that's what it's showing you, that the head was gone. Listen, the heads were gone at this time. They destroyed the head. They destroyed the man. They destroyed, and most importantly, the head of the man, which was the Most High in Christ. They took that away and said, look, we're going to give you a different head. We're going to give you the white man, Caesar Borgia. We're going to give you Egyptology. That's going to be your head. You're going to worship Ramphad and Egyptian gods that are homosexual, so you can be homosexual. Oh, and if that don't work, then we'll give you Christianity. We'll make you a Muslim. We'll make you a 5%er, a Buddhist. Right? They destroyed the head that way. And it just trickles down. And everybody's running around celebrating Kwanzaa and wearing dashikis. Right? Come on, man. I celebrated Kwanzaa as a kid. I'll admit it. I ain't no damn better. Like, what the hell is Kwanzaa? Well, might as well do it. It's a new fad. Because that's what it was. I haven't heard about Kwanzaa since the 90s.
Black Power. Go, move back to Africa.
Yeah, move back. Yeah, but see, but my mom was on that. My mom was on that. Because why? There was nobody there to show her, like, what the hell are you talking about? Go back to Africa. You ain't African. The hell are you talking about, Kwanzaa? Exactly. You know, there was nobody there to show her these things because there was no head. Read on.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 6, second precept. But wounds and bruises.
Right. Go ahead.
And putrefied sores. They have not been closed.
Right.
Neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Yeah, we've been so bruised and battered as a people. You know, you get like battle wounds and battle scars. Hell nah, they're not even scars. They still open wounds. Fresh. Like we were talking about earlier. Did we read this earlier? No, we read 2. Yeah. Just beat up, bruised up, sores just infected, flies all over the place. You need some ointment. We need some ointment. We need wisdom. Go ahead. That's the ointment. Read on.
Your country is desolate.
Right. Now your land is desolate. Go ahead.
Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence.
Go ahead.
And it is desolate.
And it's desolate. Read on.
As overthrown by strangers.
Right. Now read verse 8. Woo.
And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard.
Yeah. Think about when a bunch of men go and ransack a village. What do? They go in there and rape, pillage, rob, murder, steal. Go ahead.
As a lodge in a garden of cucumbers.
Right, and that's what they did to our women. That's how they treated them. That's how they treated them. They just hit them. We gonna, because the belief was that a drop of white blood made perfect slaves when that baby came out. So what did they do? They would rape the women. And we're going to get into that. From there, go to, anything you want to say? No. From there, go to Hosea 3 and 6. So on this point of what made the bones dry, what dried up our people? What got us into this predicament where we were just now slaves?
Lack of hearing the word of the Most High.
Lack of hearing of the word of the Most High. Being rebellious, stiff-necked. Our head was destroyed. They removed the Most High from our thinking. I mean, we removed the Most High from our own thinking. Nobody had to do that. Hosea chapter 3 and verse 6.
There's no verse 6.
Hosea 3 and verse, Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. It's a lot.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Yeah, you see that? Now we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge. But here's the kicker. Not only are we destroyed for the lack of knowledge, read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
See, we rejected the knowledge. It wasn't that like it wasn't there. Like, it's not like we can sit back and say like, oh, we didn't know. Most High was there with us the whole time. We were like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that. Most High, that ain't in my spirit right now. I got other things to do. I don't want to follow the laws, Most High. We rejected it. We openly rejected the Most High. Read. Yeah, of course.
No, because we rejected the knowledge, that's what made us even more destroyed. Because if you think about it, if you have children, when you punish your child for something that they don't know, it's not as serious as when you punish your child for something that they do know. So it's like, we had the knowledge, but we rejected it. So that's what really made the destruction even worse. It's not that we just didn't know, it's that we rejected it. So because we rejected it, it just made it.
Like we knew exactly what we were doing.
Exactly.
It was like homosexuality. I know the Bible says don't do that, but guess what? YOLO. Live once. You only live once. I'm gonna do me.
And I was just gonna say, it's been a repetitive thing for us, also. Like, this history keeps repeating itself.
History keeps repeating itself. Yeah.
Captivity, because we rejected him. Even our forefathers did the same thing. So every time we went into captivity, it was because we were rejecting
The Most High.
the Most High, and that was our punishment, the captivity. So it was like a repetitive thing, habitual thing.
Con. Go ahead, read on.
I will also reject thee.
So now we got rejected. The Most High was like, well, fine. I ain't dealing with y'all either. Go ahead.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
Yeah, so instead of being a priest of the Most High, now you a servant, slave, homosexual little pincushion to your captors. And your wife is a bed wench, right? Your children are little nigger servants, right? One is, they're house niggers and field niggers. That's the categorization now. You're no longer, instead of being a priest and being up here, now you're at the bottom of the damn barrel. Read on.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God.
You see that? Was that the end of that?
I will also forget thy children.
Yeah. And you think they wasn't hanging children too? And laughing? Hell yeah. Your little nigger boys got strung up. They got raped. They got turned into little homosexuals. All that. Everything that they had no conscience. Proverbs 21:16. Proverbs 21:16. Somebody else gets Psalm 73 and 27.
I'll get some. 73, 27.
Go ahead, read Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding.
Yeah, see, we purposely wandered out the way of understanding. We wandered out the laws of the Most High. Go ahead.
Shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Yeah, now we understand why we're in the situation that we're in. Now we're understanding why these bones were so dry. They were in the congregation of the dead. These bones were just amongst each other, just dead. Go to Psalm 73 and 27.
Psalm chapter 73 and verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish.
Right?
Thou hast destroyed all of them that go a-whoring from thee.
And that's what we did. We went a-whoring through all the other lusts, through all the other nations and their gods. We wandered away from the Most High and we perished. Go to Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4 in the Apocrypha. And I'm hitting these fast because they're all making the same point, really. Go to Baruch. See what that says.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4.
Baruch chapter 3. Oh. Get up. Read that.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
Go ahead.
And of their children, which have sinned before thee.
Yeah, see, the dead Israelites and their children, those slaves. They did what?
Sinned before thee.
These dry ass bones, those dead Israelites. Go ahead.
And not hearken unto the voice of their God. For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
That slavery, that death, that famine. Y'all get that? Go back to Ezekiel. Y'all can add in to your notes. We ain't gonna go there. Y'all can add in Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth the gates thereof language. And you can add in Lamentations 5 and 14. I ain't gonna go there. We always go there. Jump back to Ezekiel 37 and 3.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live?
Yeah, it's like, damn. Allison. Oh, Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2. It says, Judah mourneth and the gates thereof languish. The gates represent our leadership. So then you go to Lamentations chapter 5 and verse 14. And it tells you the children have ceased for their music. The gates the gates. The gates. Yeah, it's talking about the gates, the leadership. Yeah. So in Isaiah 37:3, it said, "O son of man, can these bones live?" Who thinks? Who knows why that question was asked? Can these bones live? Go ahead.
Basically, asking like, is there any hope for these people?
Right. It's like, look at all the, like, what the, these niggas is off. Can they live? Can they be restored back to health? Can they come back to me? Because by the way it's looking, it is not looking good for y'all. It's like, oh, son of man, can these bones live? Read on.
And I answered, O Lord God.
And Ezekiel answered and said what?
O Lord God, thou knowest.
He's like, only you know. Go ahead.
Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones.
He's like, all right, well, let's try this. Go to Isaiah 58:1. He said, prophesy to these bones. So now we hear what? 58:1, Isaiah. And then somebody else get Isaiah 52:1.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Cry aloud.
Right.
Spare not.
Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Read.
And show my people their transgressions.
Yeah, this was the only way these bones were going to live. They had to be shown their transgressions. But see, the Bible says cry aloud and spare not. Did it say, wait, read it one more time.
Cry aloud.
Wait, talk all soft and meek and mild?
Cry aloud.
Wait, act like just whisper and, oh, son, it's going to be okay?
Cry aloud.
Give out hugs?
Cry aloud.
Read.
And spare not.
Oh, well, listen, we don't want to offend nobody.
Spare not.
Well, listen, you know, that brother got feelings and we don't want to just bring out everything that he's doing.
Spare not.
Yeah, the Bible says cry aloud. It didn't say sing, dance, and play music. It ain't church that we needed. We needed strong men that was going to cry aloud and not give a damn about how you felt.
Right.
Read.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Right, read on.
And show my people their transgression.
Go ahead.
And the house of Jacob their sins.
Right, so when you look at it now, you know, you had your slavery revolts, right? You had your Nat Turners. He did the same thing. He was standing up. He was trying to muster himself up, right? What was he doing? He was trying to birth the nation. He was trying to free the slaves, right? On his back. Isaiah 52 and verse 1. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Awake, awake.
Yeah, because these damn bones were so dry and sleepy. The Most High is telling us to wake up. Wake up. Now, because what's the term now? Oh, I'm woke. Oh, my God. I'm woke because I know that pork is bad for me. No, I don't make you woke. Because you ain't eating pork, but you still a whore. Right? You ain't eating pork, but you still simping around selling drugs. You ain't woke. You just fighting. You just doing some of the things. That don't make you woke. Because you understand, you finally get it that the government ain't for you. You woke now? Hell no, you ain't woke. You ain't woke. You just daydreaming. Because you still think that you could assimilate into society somehow. So it says awake, awake. Go ahead.
Put on thy strength.
Right, because guess what? Your strength didn't come in the form of a job. Your strength don't come in the form of drugs. Or, now I got me a good woman. What was a man's strength that we went over in class last week? The wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, long-suffering. Right? The attributes of the spirit. Put on thy strength. Not go get me a job so I can go move out the hood. Not because I don't eat pork, but I'm still whoring around. Now the black woman is God, that's my strength. I found Islam, that's my strength. I'm a super Christian. No. Most High said, put on your strength. Go ahead.
O Zion.
Right?
Put on thy beautiful garments.
Yeah, man, get your ass about the bed and get dressed, homie. It's time to work. Read.
O Jerusalem.
Read.
The holy city. From henceforth there shall no more come into these, the uncircumcised and the unclean.
Right. So the Most High was saying, listen, awake, awake. Awake, awake. Yeah, go there real quick. Awake, awake, put on thy garments. Go to Job.
Go to Job chapter 29 and verse 14. And it's what's our garments, right? Because it says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. So what strength is it that we're going to put on? What's our garments? Read that. Read Job chapter 29 and verse 14.
Job chapter 29 and verse 14. I put on righteousness.
We put on what?
Righteousness.
We put on what?
Righteousness.
That's our strength. Us being righteous. When we're unrighteous,
you're walking around in wickedness.
Exactly. Keep reading.
And it clothed me.
And that's what's supposed to clothe us. Our righteousness is what's supposed to clothe us. Keep reading.
My judgment was as a robe and a diadem.
How does your judgment become your robe and your diadem? Because your judgment is now based off of the scriptures. It's based off of the wisdom of the Most High. So now you're able to make the correct judgments. Now that righteousness that you put on, it shows. It shows because of your judgments.
Right.
Because of how you carry yourself in certain situations.
You want to go there, huh? Because this is the thing. Watch this. Go to Isaiah. Watch. Go to Isaiah.
But yeah, that's our strength.
Oh, read verse 2 in Isaiah 52 and 1. Read verse 2.
Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 2. And verse 2.
Read verse 2.
Shake thyself from the dust.
Right, he was telling these bones to shake yourself off. Go ahead. From the dust, from that lower state. Read.
Arise.
Go ahead.
And sit down.
Right, read on.
O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Yeah, it's time to get up out of slavery. Put on some wisdom so we can get you out of slavery. Read on.
O captive, daughter of Zion.
Right, so that's what it was talking about. Where was that scripture at?
It's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1.
30 and 1, that's what it was. I went too far up. Go to Isaiah 30 and 1, because we know that the Most High said to be clothed with the garments, right, of righteousness. But check this out. This was us. This is why we were in this dry estate. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Woe to the rebellious children.
Yeah, now you see why we was in captivity. Whoa. Because we were rebellious as hell. Go ahead.
Said the Most High.
Go ahead.
Take counsel.
Uh-huh.
But not of me.
Yeah, you want to run to everything else but the Bible. Read.
And that covered with a covering.
Yeah, you want to cover with everything else. Read.
But not of my spirit.
Yeah, but we don't want to cover with the righteousness. We don't want to cover with the law. We want to cover with the wicked. I need to be covered up in that blunt smoke, dog. I need to be surrounded by blunt smoke. I need to be surrounded by women. I need at least, I got a 6-car, what do you say? I got a 12-car garage with only 6 cars, right? Right? But that's the thinking. It's like, I got to cover with things that are carnal. I'm not going to cover with the spirit of the Most High. I'm going to cover with things that soothe my ego and that push my agenda. I don't want to be corrected. I don't want to be in the part where it's saying spare not. Nah, you got to spare my feelings. I'm going to spare my feelings, going to get me a core. I ain't going to go to the brother that's going to correct me. You see that? Go ahead.
That they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, and all it did was just add sin to sin. Go ahead.
And just on that point about adding sin to sin, we have to remember that we're trying to cover with the Most High's garments, right? With his righteousness. We're trying to cover with the Most High's covering. So in Mark 2 and 21, it says, no man also seweth a piece of new cloth on an old garment, else the new piece that filled it up taketh away from the old, and the rent is made worse. So when we're trying to cover with the garment of the Most High, which is righteousness, our past, our thoughts, our way of thinking, it can't be mingled with the new. We can't have our old garments trying to be mixed with the new.
Like you got this, like you, oh my God. It's like you got this brand new garment and you like, you know what, I'm gonna cut the knee out and I'm gonna put an old ass patch right in the knee.
Yeah.
Right? Or, man, there was something about them old shoes that like, I'm gonna take the old soles off the new shoes and put the old soles on and I'll be good. It don't work like that. You making the damn garment look crappy. Y'all get that? You devaluing the new garment. But it's like this. I'm going to come in the truth. And my own ways, I'm going to try to merge them to the Bible. That's why you got cats talking about, Christ got high. But where? Yeah, you're trying to add that. You're trying to add that new garment and old garment together. That new way of thinking with your old wicked way of thinking. Yeah. So now it makes the whole thought process just look idiotic. Like, wait a minute. Christ got high when? And then when you get high, all you want to do is eat and then sleep. So now how can you be of any use to the Most High if all you're doing is getting fat and then sleeping it off? See, the thought process is messed up. That's the thing. You're trying to put your old way of thinking on the new way and merge the two. You're trying to bring your old habits in. And guess what? That's what we did during slavery. I mean, come on. Now that's why it's like you got D.L. Hughley. What did he say on Kings of Comedy? Look what the pig done did for us. We weren't supposed to be eating no pig. But he's like, the pig saved us from dying from hunger. Okay, fine. I get it. We were forced to eat it. But now that you know, you're supposed to put it down. But that's the thing. It's like, well, nah, I can't put not my pig, my baby back ribs, my pig ear, pig feet, chitterlings, pig feet pickled. Now I got to curry my pig feet, curry them with sugar and brown sugar and roast them. Yeah, bro, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but that's a thought process. It's like, let me try to flavor it up so that it don't taste good. First of all, it don't smell good, so you know it tastes like crap. So how you gonna try to flavor it up and put honey and brown sugar and what is it that they do to it? They
clean out the intestines for chitlins.
Yeah, some people don't. And there's no way you clean out intestines. Think about it. That is in the skin. But no, think about it. What do they do to pork when they
Oh, they put vinegar.
No, not that. When they put it in the salt.
Kind of purge.
Brine.
They don't cook it though. They just let it sit.
Brine.
Is that what it is? They cover it in salt and leave it?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
It's brine.
And then, let the salt cook it. Yeah, like let me salt it up. Things like that. It's like, come on, man, just put it down. But that's the problem. It's like, I want to merge my way of thinking and cover with this instead of the spirit of the Most High. Y'all see that? Let's jump back to Jeremiah. At 30 minutes, I want to finish this actually. Jump back to Jeremiah chapter 37, verse 5.
You mean Ezekiel?
Ezekiel, yeah. Ezekiel 37 and 5.
Ezekiel chapter 37.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 1.
And verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Thus said the Lord God unto these bones.
Right.
Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you.
Right, so we know that. What does that mean? What does that mean? Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 1. Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about?
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 8, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Wisdom reacheth from one end to the other.
Go ahead.
Mightily. And sweetly does she order all things.
Right, so the Most High was like, listen, I'm going to bring you back to your order. I'm going to bring things back to the order of the way they were supposed to be. We put the man above the woman, put the children below the woman, and things should go back to order through wisdom. Jump back to Jeremiah.
Ezekiel.
I keep saying Jeremiah. Go back to Ezekiel. Go to 1 Chronicles chapter 22 and verse 12.
Con, 1 Chronicles chapter 22 and verse.
Somebody else get Baruch 4 and 1. Read that. 1 Chronicles 22 and verse 12.
Con, only the Lord give thee wisdom.
Right, so the wisdom was going to come from where?
The Lord.
Wait, mama?
The Lord.
Grandpa?
The Lord.
Wait, well, Jay-Z got some wisdom.
The Lord.
Well, you know, that brother down the way, he was saying some wise sayings and Kemet. It kind of makes sense to me.
The Lord.
Read.
The Lord give thee wisdom and understanding.
Right.
And give thee charge concerning Israel.
Go ahead.
That thou mayest keep the law of the Lord thy God.
Right, because the law, the wisdom was in the law. Read on.
Verse 13. Then shalt thou prosper.
Then thou shalt what?
Prosper.
Then you're going to shake up the dust off yourself and prosper. Read on.
If thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and judgments the Lord charged Moses with concerning Israel.
Go ahead.
Be strong.
Be what?
Be strong.
Go ahead.
And of good courage.
Go ahead.
Dread not, nor be dismayed.
Wait, be fearful and weak.
Dread not, nor be dismayed.
Go to Baruch 4:1.
Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Get 1 Corinthians 11:1.
This is the book of the commandments of God.
Go ahead.
And the law that endureth forever.
Wait, for a little bit.
Forever.
Just the time that we were in Egypt?
Forever.
Just during Moses?
Forever.
Read on.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
What shall happen?
Come to life.
Wait, the law is done away with.
Shall come to life.
We don't need that.
Shall come to life.
Read on.
But such as leave it shall die.
You see that? Because we didn't follow the law, we became these bones. But now the Most High said, listen, can these bones live? Prophesy to the bones. Right? Get 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. So it says wisdom in Wisdom of Solomon 8:1, it says it ordered all things. So now bringing it back to the Willie Lynch, it said that the only way that this phenomenon of a man being a woman and a woman being a man, psychologically, there had to be some phenomenon that would change it, right? So now we're seeing what that is. The only thing that can change it is what?
The word of the Most High.
The word, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High to bring it back to this. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1.
Read.
Be ye followers of me, even as I am also of Christ.
Right, so we're understanding that Paul was a follower of Christ. And he was urging us to be a follower of him. And then we were following Christ also. Read on.
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things.
Read.
And keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you.
Go ahead.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. So it's basically coming back to black man, wake the hell up. Your head is Christ. Go ahead.
And that the head of the woman is the man.
And guess what? You have the headship over the woman. So now you can't just be some lazy couch surfing video game playing Negro. Eating chitlins and whatever you eat when you play video games.
Cheetos.
Yeah, eating Cheetos and eating sandwiches all day. You actually got a job to do. Read.
And the head of Christ is God.
Right. Go ahead.
Every man praying or prophesying.
Right, that's it on that. Right? Where we at? Go to 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. So the wisdom was supposed to order things back to the way it was supposed to be. The head of the man is the woman. The head of the man is Christ. The head of Christ is the Most High. The children fall under everything. 1 Peter 3 and 1.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives be in subjection to your own husband.
Wait. Rule over your husband?
Be in subjection.
Be independent.
In subjection.
I don't need no Negro.
Be in subjection.
I don't need no man.
Be in subjection.
Girl, I got a job.
Be in subjection.
Go ahead.
To your own husband.
Read.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wife.
Right. So the waking up was supposed to be us getting the wisdom to get back to our true estate. Now let's jump back to Mr. Lynch. Willie Lynch. Let's see what he had to say about a few things.
Mr. Lynch.
So where you at?
It says,
Yep.
we show what we mean by example. Take the case of the two economic slave units and examine them closely. The nigger marriage, we breed 2 nigger males with 2 nigger females. Then we take the nigger males away from them and keep them moving and working. Say one nigger female bears a nigger female and the other bears a nigger male.
Right, so you got two couples, man, woman. They have children. One has a man child, one has a woman child. Go ahead.
Both nigger females being without influence of the nigger male image, frozen with an independent psychology, will raise their offspring into reverse positions.
You see that? They will raise the woman as being independent without even having a man around. See, independency, this is what y'all gotta understand. Independency, that independent thinking, that belonged to the man. Dependent thinking belonged to the women. But what it's telling us here is that they broke them so well that when you took the man out the equation, the woman broke the females into thinking like men and being independent. Read on.
The one with the female offspring will teach her to be like herself.
Right, because she was teaching her how to be like herself. What's up?
Oh, there's just a question.
Is it on the...
It's on the topic.
Okay.
It says, how does Willie Lynch consider coincide with our self-hatred, i.e. murdering each other?
Well, let's go here. Watch. See, you got to watch part 1 of the class, and that's the first thing we hit, because the way it coincides is this. Deuteronomy 28, I'm not going to go there. Just watch the first part, but I'll break it down real quick. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 56. The tender and delicate woman that is among you, right, that would not venture to set the soles of the foot on the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards her brother. Because her eyes shall be evil towards her husband and her children. And then it goes back and talks about the man having an evil eye towards his wife and his brother. Why? Because, give me a second, Allison. Why? Because the first thing Willie Lynch did was put us against each other. He separated us by color, light skin versus dark skin. He used everything to separate us. Eye color, skin color, hair color, fat, strong, short, tall, physique. He separated us by sex, but he said the way he did it was, well, he's light, you're dark, so there's something wrong with him. Or his eyes are brown and your eyes are this color, so there's something wrong with him. So he made us look at our differences as something inferior, you were inferior to another. So think about it. If you bring it to today, wasn't there maybe I remember 5-6 years ago, man, there was this big thing about light-skinned blacks versus dark-skinned blacks. This is how light-skinned niggas do this. They be having Prince posing somewhere, or this is how dark-skinned cats do this. It was this big thing about light-skin and dark-skin.
Spike Lee did a movie.
What was it?
That college movie.
School Days. Yeah.
It was primarily about
light-skinned blacks and dark-skinned blacks. So if you look at it today, even there's that stigma today of, I don't mess with no light-skinned niggas. Right? Or you got rappers talking about, I don't mess with no dark-skinned women. And then you go to countries like Jamaica, where all they do is bleach out their skin to be what? Light, because white is pretty. Right? They'll bleach out the whole of their skin. All of it is just gone. They look like this damn paper. They be dark. They be dark like this microphone. They be dark like this microphone, and the next thing you know, they bleach and look like this. They be white, and they think that is cool. So it promoted, Willie Lynch promoted black on black crime, and then he also promoted self-hate. Oh, because guess what? I ain't light enough, I gotta go get light. And we still do it today. Jamaica is the #1 country for skin bleaching. Right behind it is Nigeria, which a lot of Israelites are in Nigeria. Israel is destroyed. So it relates. I mean, it could go deep. I mean, come on, think about it. We talk about the black woman assuming the black man's position. If I'm in your position, that means I don't need you. That's hating itself, to not need a man. To not need the one thing that is supposed to protect the woman. How do you not need the thing that's supposed to protect you? So it has a lot to play with. No, just read rewatch. Because this is part 2. So watch part 1, and we go in depth into that whole self-hate, We go into that, man. We go into that. Let's jump back down. Where we at?
It says, the one with the female offspring will teach her to be like herself, independent and negotiable. We negotiate with her,
right?
Through her, by her. We negotiate her at will.
You see that? So now everything is negotiated through the woman. Everything. He says we negotiate through her, by her, and with her at will. So the negotiation process, it wasn't a light process. It was like, either you do this or you're going to have to get raped. Or you do this or we're going to rape your kid. Or you do this or we're going to beat you. But think about it. If the head is supposed to be the man and the woman is negotiating, a lot of things were done out of fear and not through wisdom. So there was a lot of bad moves being made. Y'all see that? Go back, read.
The one with the nigger male offspring, she being frozen with a subconscious fear for his life, will raise him to be mentally dependent and weak, but physically strong.
Yeah, that's like most of your athletes today. That's most of the black males today. All they think is about, let me go to the gym and work out the muscles. What about the muscle that counts? Why you don't work that muscle? But you could go lift 100 racks in the gym, but you can't figure out why your woman and you don't get along. You don't have the patience to deal with your family, to raise your children. Because instead of working that muscle and letting wisdom reign, all you know how to do is hit the gym. I'm going to hit the gym, be a gym rat, show off my guns, walk around in tight-ass t-shirts. Because you're physically strong, but mentally weak. That is 99% of our black males. That's today. Allison.
So what would be, I guess, some of the wisdom they could use in order to negotiate so that way they don't have that fear?
Wait, what is some of the wisdom that the women could use? Well, at that time, there was none. Because the negotiation process was, if you don't, no matter what, you have to do whatever they told you. Or you either get whooped, your kids will get abused. See, that's why they said, you got to understand the process. The process was to do what? Eliminate the strength. Once you eliminated the strength, which was the man, got him in the background. Now the woman is in the forefront. But the problem with the woman was she was broken by fear. Fear of two things. Fear for three things. Mainly, the two things were fear for her husband, because she didn't want to see anything further happen to him. And then fear for her children. That's why it was easy to break the children, because the mom was like, well, I already seen what happened to your daddy, so guess what? We're going to get you in line from birth. That way you're not out of line. You fall right into the process. So now when it came to negotiate, it was like, well, if you don't, then we're going to take it out on your kids. We're going to take it out on your husband.
So if the husband has the wisdom and the strength, then he would be the one to be able to negotiate, and then all of the rest would.
Guess what? If he had the wisdom and the strength, we wouldn't be in the position. See, once you're in that position, there is no strength. Once you're a slave, you bow to the slave master. But see, the wisdom and the strength should have been applied before that happened. See, the Most High gave us the wisdom and the strength all through the law. And we rejected it. We rejected knowledge, so I reject thee. So now everything is out of course. So guess what? Women compass you. But now the decision making ain't there. So guess what? We can have, basically it was like, they knew, we get the man out the way, we have the women, it's just a free-for-all. We can do whatever we want. To get into a strong man's house, you first must do what? Bind out the strong man. Right? They knew that. So that's what they did. Read, where you at? Read.
In other words, body over mind. Now, in a few years, when these two...
Right, so they made us rely on the carnal. Because that's all they needed us for, was to be strong little niggas. Right? Rely on your carnal body and not anything spiritual. Go ahead.
Now, in a few years, when these two offsprings become fertile for early reproduction, we will mate and breed them and continue the cycle.
Right, so what they would do was take the dependent male that came from these two couples, or from this one couple, the independent female, right, that came from the other couple, and they would breed them together. Now you're just making now you already got the process established, because what they going to do? They're going to teach their kids the same thing no matter what. Product of their environment, right? But see, the Bible is showing us that we could reverse the wisdom, reverse the doing. Train up the child the way you would have him, and he will not depart. So what is it saying? You got to train your children in wisdom. See, they knew all this. It's almost like they had the damn Bible, and they were reading through the Bible like, how we going to get them? It's all biblical. They just used it in an ill manner. Go ahead.
Reproduction. We will mate and breed them and continue the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
That is good, sound, and long-range comprehensive planning.
Right. They knew that this would last for, they said 300 years to 1,000 years. We already in like year 425 or something like that. We there, man. But it's sad because now, again, you're not even a physical slave. Nobody's whooping your back and raping you and threatening your children. You're willingly saying, hey, let's dress our children up like ghouls and goblins and go collect candy. Hey, Christmas. Hey, let's tell our kids that there's Easter bunnies. We willingly do this now.
Yeah.
They got us so bred into this cycle mentally. It's like, damn, these niggas is just, you a trained slave. You come out the womb. Think about it. Think about, how does a kid learn about Christmas?
At home.
At home from his parents. A kid don't come out the womb talking about, give me a present. He don't hop out the womb talking about, let me get McDonald's, let me eat this, candy. Kids know candy before it. It's crazy.
Cats gonna build a bear before they can walk.
Kids know candy and build. Yeah, they know this stuff before they could even conceive thoughts. They know about candy. I'm like, you're like 6 months old. I say candy and you literally, but it was taught. It was taught. Read on.
It says, warning, possible interloping negatives.
Right, so this is showing that there would be some negatives in this process that could interfere with what they were trying to push. Go ahead.
Earlier, we talked about the non-economic good of the horse and the nigger in the wild or natural state.
Right, because the nigger and the horse in the wild state didn't want to be captive to anything, as we read earlier. They wanted to be free. That their natural state was to be free. An Israelite man's natural state was to have dominion. He knew it, so it's like, nigga, you ain't gonna make me no slave. Right? Go ahead.
We talked out the principle of breaking and tying them together for orderly production. Furthermore, we talked about paying particular attention to the female savage and her offspring for orderly future planning.
Yeah, because she would break the babies into the cycle. Go ahead.
Then more recently, we stated that by reversing the positions of the male and the female savages, we created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own axis forever unless a phenomenon occurred and reshifted positions of the male and female savages.
Right, and we know we went through that. The only way that was going to happen was through re-attaining the wisdom of the Most High. Read on.
Our experts warned us about the possibility of this phenomenon occurring.
Go ahead.
For they say that the mind has a strong drive to correct and recorrect itself over a period of time.
Well, we know that it's not just the mind. The Most High said the Spirit beareth witness of who is His. So we know that the Most High didn't intend for this to happen forever. It said we would go into captivity for 400 years. They didn't realize that. Like, oh, okay, we can't have these dudes for no 1,000 years. Right? Not as slaves. Go ahead.
If I can touch some substantial original historic base, and they advised us that the best way to deal with the phenomenon is to shave off the brute's mental history.
To do what?
To shave off the brute's mental history.
So the only way to keep the process going and not let the brain reverse or not let the spirit take hold is to do what?
Shave off the brute's mental history.
Yeah, so now they stole your history. Right? Read on.
and create a multiplicity of phenomena of illusions.
Of illusions. So now Christ is white, right? Now you ain't a Jew, right? Now, oh man, the virgin birth. Even when you figure out Christ is black, now he was born by a virgin, right? An angel slept with somebody. God ain't real. They created all these phenomena so that now even when you did attain to some hold of who you were, if by chance you did figure out that you were Israelite, now you don't belong on the chart. Now you ain't an Israelite because you're too light, right? And they did all these things no matter what. Oh, God, Esau ain't the white man. They created all these phenomena for you to question and to stay confused. Right? Go to Galatians 3:1. Oh, we're going to finish it. We're going to finish it. We're going to finish. Go to Galatians chapter 3 and verse 1. Somebody get Colossians 2 and 8. Somebody else get 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 2.
Galatians chapter 3 and verse 8.
Read.
3 and 1.
Oh, it's a lot.
3 and verse 8. 3 and verse 1.
3 and verse 1.
Colossians 2 and 8. 2 Corinthians 11 and 2. And they'll repeat before they read. Go ahead, read.
Galatians chapter 3 and verse 1.
Right.
O foolish Galatians.
Yeah, you foolish Israelites. Read.
Who has bewitched you? That ye should that ye should not obey the truth.
Yeah, who bewitched you? Well, we know who bewitched us. Right? We know who took our nationality. But now we seeing why. To keep you a damn slave. To keep the woman on top of you. To keep things out of order. Read on.
Before whose eyes Jesus Christ had been evidently set forth, crucified among you.
Yeah, because you know what's wild? Some people would actually, they saw Christ crucified right before their eyes and rise, and they were like, we still don't believe it. We don't get it. It'd be right in front of you like Deuteronomy 28:68, and it's like, nah, that ain't talking about that. That ain't talking about us being slaves. It's talking about something else. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? But so we've been bewitched so long, now we don't want to believe our own history. You see that? Now you don't believe your own history the way it was intended. Now you believe parts of your history, but guess what? Now you believe that the main historical figure in your history didn't come the way you came. He just, the angel had sex with his mama.
Right, adultery.
Yeah, he came through adultery. Think about it. Christ came through adultery. Oh, but it does say that in sin we were created in iniquity, and nah, that's not what it meant. Now I'm just adding scriptures to people's fuel. Giving y'all the ammo, right? Read Colossians 2 and 8.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Right.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Right, and that's what they gave us was philosophy. I got a whole class on when, listen, I got a whole class that I'm going to hit y'all with on when and how and who inserted the virgin birth. What pope, right? Oh, I got it. It's long. It's a lot. It's beautiful. Yeah, it goes in. It goes in, baby. Because guess what? It was a philosophy that was given to us to keep you confused. It was philosophy for you not to believe in the Most High the right way and come back to your strength. Read. So now you're spoiled.
I was going to say, it's a philosophy that they gave us so that we can make excuses. Because now we're like, oh yeah, he did it.
He did all that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
He was Christ.
He was born of an angel.
Right. He came from the angel. Yeah. And then what it did also, it propelled Mary into the quasars of the quasars. First of all, they act like Mary's still a virgin when she had kids after Christ. Like, what the hell is going on here? How is she still the Virgin Mary when Christ had brothers? Come the hell on. Like, think about it. She's still the Virgin Mary? And she had kids after Christ? Read on. Read on.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right, and their vain deceit. They wanted to deceive us. Read.
After the tradition of men.
After their tradition that they created. Go ahead.
After the rudiments of the world.
Yeah, after some worldly teachings. Read.
And not after
Yeah,
Christ.
but they didn't want Christ in there because they knew that was your strength. 2 Corinthians 11 and 2.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 2.
Read.
For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy.
Read.
For I have espoused you to one husband.
Right? So we were espoused to one husband. Yahushua, Christ. Read on.
That I may present you as a chaste virgin
You're
to
supposed to be
grace.
this holy, beautiful, flowy-haired virgin. But now you bald, got the scab, the botch, you stink, right? You got the rent, all that. Because of all the things you wanted to get into, I gave you one purpose, and you changed it. Read on.
But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve.
Right, and that's what they did. They beguiled us. When I take your language, I take your nationality, your tradition. When I win all the wars and create the history, I can beguile you. Read.
Through his subtlety.
Yeah. But it wasn't subtle. They whooped it into you. But then guess what? Now we just love it and accept it. Like, yeah, you're right. Virgin birth. Oh, yeah, I'm with that. Makes sense. It was so subtly inserted, you don't even take the time to actually think. Listen, man. Can I ask y'all a question?
Shoot.
Is the Bible logical?
Come.
Does it speak logically?
Come.
What is logical about an angel having sex with a woman and then creating a man? Where's the what would be the logical purpose of that?
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point of it?
Yeah.
See, but guess what? The point is to confuse you. The point is to get you thinking like, oh, damn. Oh, you know what? God can do anything. That's the point. Oh, God can just do anything. We can't take the power from God. Yeah, we're not taking the power from the Most High. But through history, everything has been logical up until what? Up until Matthews? There was no logic anymore? The Most High was like, we ain't going to do things logical. I'm not the author of confusion, but I'm going to confuse y'all today.
He decided he didn't want to be righteous.
Yeah, think about it. The scriptures say that we find comfort in the scriptures. What does comfort bring?
Assurance. Peace.
What?
Peace.
What?
Peace.
I am not the author of confusion, but of peace. See, they stole your peace. The white man. Listen. Oh, the white man ain't Esau. I mean, god damn, bruh. You mean to tell me that ain't Esau? Because of the violence towards thy brother? The violence towards thy brother. But you want me to sit there and focus on a landmass of people that went somewhere and try to convince me because they went to a certain land that that's Esau? And not look at, okay, where did the violence come in? Because all this was violent. You rape a grown-ass man and feather him, tar him, and rip him apart with 2 horses. That's violent as hell. You go to the island of Hispaniola and you just start cutting babies out of wombs and chopping off breasts and castrating men and wearing their balls around your neck. I mean, that's violent as hell. So now let me throw in some doctrine in there to confuse you some more, to vainfully deceive you that the very violent-ass man that the Bible said was violent and that was going to do it, it ain't him no more. It's the Middle Easterners that I'm supposed to be looking at as Esau. What the hell has a Middle Easterner done to me? That nigga ain't even in control. He don't even rule the world. So, but see, our people don't take the time to think. Read on. Where you at?
2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3, second precept.
And this is the beautiful part. Read.
So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity.
From the what?
Simplicity.
From the complex, just mind-boggling, I can't get it, I don't get it. It's like a jigsaw puzzle times 30. It's like a 1,000,000-piece puzzle. What?
The simplicity.
The what?
Simplicity.
Read.
That is in Christ.
Yeah. See, the Most High made it simple. But guess what? Your oppressor, they made it hard. They made all of it hard for you. They made it hard for you to even figure out who the hell you were. That's why you walked around for 30 years of your life thinking you was a Mexican, thinking you was black, thinking you was a Chicano, thinking you was mixed, thinking you was a mutt. Right? Not knowing who the hell you were. You walked on in darkness. You didn't even consider. They made you that dumb ox that didn't even consider the Most High. They made you not want a man. They made men just want to run through women because I don't feel like dealing with her damn mouth. I ain't putting up with the kids because they get on my damn nerves. I ain't putting up with her because she's whack. That's all they can say, man. She's whack as hell. There's no real excuse. He just know that he don't feel like dealing with it. Right? Galatians 4 and 8. Psalms 83 and verse 2.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 8.
And then we're gonna end it there. Galatians chapter 4 and verse 8.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 8. Howbeit then, when ye knew not God,
right?
Ye did service unto them which by nature are no God.
Yeah, it's like you didn't even know what God was, but you still treated these things that weren't God like God. Howbeit, like it doesn't make sense. Read on.
But now, after that ye have known God.
Yeah, so now you know the Most High. You know the Most High is real. You know the Bible's real. It predicted all this slavery. All these things would happen. Go ahead.
Or rather are known of God.
And you're known of God because we're the Most High's children. Read.
How turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
Now you want to be out in the weak and beggarly elements. It's like, well, I know what the Most High wants me to do. I know what I should be doing. I know I shouldn't be trying to master over my man. I know I shouldn't be a little simp dude. I know I'm supposed to have a backbone, teach my wife, teach my kids, right? But it's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to play Madden. The game's on, so that's all I'm going to worry about. You want to turn back to the weak and beggarly elements instead of having some order, some discipline. You rather go backwards. You rather not have order and discipline because why? You don't want to submit, ladies, to your man. You know what the Most High wants. You know how it should be. Excuse me, you know what it is. You know what it is. Man, you know what it is. You know you're supposed to take care of your rib. Dwell with them according to knowledge. You know you're supposed to raise your children, not let the TV do it. But it's like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go back to the old way. The weak and beggarly elements. So now you just reverse. Now you just go back into the process that the Willie Lynch done put you in. Where you at?
This is Psalms chapter 83,
Finish
verse 2.
where you at. The weak and beggarly elements. What?
Whereunto ye desire again to be in bondage.
To be what?
To be in bondage.
Yeah, it's like you desire to be a damn slave all over again. It's like we might as well just gather up all the niggas on earth and just throw them on plantations. I mean, it'll be so much easier. We ain't got to whip nobody. You'll willingly just pick the cotton. You'll pick the cotton. You'll serve the drinks. The dudes will just start bending over for dudes because they're all faggots out there. Right? You ain't got to break no buck. You already broke. You already broke spiritually, and it's like you try to show a cat, show a brother some strength, how to wise up, how to strengthen up, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna just keep bending over for the white man. I'm gonna keep. You show a sister, look, this is where your real strength is at, in a household, in ordering your house aright, and being a pillar of rest for your husband. And it's like, nah, I'm gonna just keep compromising for everything else that the government got for me. That's my strength. I want to continue to be a slave to the government. Y'all understand that? Go to Psalms 83 and verse 2.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 2.
Right, and this was the thing. See, like I said, it's almost like when Willie Lynch wrote this damn document, this letter, he like had the Bible. Like, let me just get some scriptures and break them down in my own thinking. Because this is what he did. Read.
Psalm chapter 83 and verse 2.
Read.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
A tumult. They was coming up. Well, they'll tell you. Read on.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel.
Yeah, the tumults. They was sitting there like making government plans on how to destroy you. Making government plans on how can we eradicate the black family. Well, they're overpopulating, so let's give them homosexuality and crack. And some of y'all ate that up. Like, damn, I could be a homo? and it's not illegal. They ain't gonna stone me. Damn, I could fit right in.
Let's give them open carry.
Yeah, open cap and everything. Open cap. Oh no, the best one is this. Let's give these niggas some weed. I don't know if y'all been looking into it, but the weed, from what they say, the weed, and I can see it, the weed lowers a man's testosterone. The levels of THC that's in the weed. So now you got these weak, high, effeminate ass dudes walking around. First of all, you weak as hell now because you ain't got no testosterone. Your levels is low. And then you high. What can you do? What can you do? And then your pants are sagging, so if you had to get into anything physical, all I gotta do is just unbutton the pant. Unbutton, just hit the front button and you just gonna trip everywhere. That's all I gotta do. That's all I gotta do. And then just watch you just walk like a duck. Trying to, like, come on, man. Just think about it.
I seen a grown man in the mall with bags, just
pants down to his damn
underneath the
crease.
I couldn't
believe it.
I
couldn't believe it. Where you can see the bottom of a cat's boxers. You might as well just walk around with your pants at your ankles.
Or no pants at all.
And with no, you walking around like this, trying to, and then you walk like a duck because you gotta use your waist to hold them up. Because if you bend your legs the wrong way, the pants gonna fall. Come on, bruh. Come on, man. But they gave you all these styles. Pants sagging is dope, but that's a homosexual custom, right? Yep. Let me show off my Louis belt, so I gotta make sure that my shirt's tight enough, that my Louis belt tucks in, and my jeans gotta be super tight because that's what they gave you. They crafted up all these different things. All these, from the vaccines to the amount of sugar and everything, to the food. You go to the hood, ain't no type of, where's the Whole Foods at? Yeah, you gotta go all the way to Sugar Land. Yeah. Ain't no Whole Foods around here. Yeah, you gotta go to Westheimer. The Heights. And I mean, what is that? Westheimer from here, you live on Westheimer. Where is that at? 30, 40 minutes? Ain't no nigga venturing outside his hood to go get no food. A salad, nigga, I'm about to go hit the dollar menu. Here is lettuce on the burger. I'm gonna make sure I get lettuce and tomatoes and pickles. Right? But everything else on it is bad. Extra preservatives. Y'all gotta actually look into it, the preservative levels in food where your body don't even recognize preservatives as nutrients. So guess what it does? It don't break it down and it stores it as fat. And you wonder why you're walking around obese.
The preservatives, there was a study like it hardens your organs.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that's why you get hypertension. It's not real. Your body don't recognize preservatives as food. But guess what? Everything you eat comes out of a factory and been preserved to have a shelf life. For what? For your consumption, but for somebody else's benefit. Y'all see that? So they take crafty counsel. Go ahead.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, of course you can.
Well, one thing I wanted to say, man, it's dope. I talked to this one dude at the mall today, and he was saying that he didn't want kids with his wife. He's 32. His wife is like 32 as well. And he's like, I don't want kids with her because, you know, it's like, I don't care about it. So one mentality also that they put into our people was, forget kids. Just chase that dream. Get rich. That way you can keep doing what you want to do, because he looked at like having a kid as a burden. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have to spend my money on that, on these kids. So I just rather do what I want to do with my wife and not have a kid. Not, you know what I'm saying? So the whole time he was talking about it, I was like, man, the first commandment of the Most High is be fruitful and multiply. So it's like, you're looking at your brother, your family members, and they have kids, and it's like, it's all, their whole life is like revolved around their kids. And you don't want that. You just want to, you don't want that responsibility. So it's like, you just want to take care of them and then just push them back. So it's like another thing that they put into our mentality was just, don't have any kids. So now guess what? Now that gay agenda, that depopularization of us, I guess, I know I just butchered that word, but to drop our population number, that's another way they did it too, was to have us not want kids. Because now when you see our kids, you gonna say something?
I'm gonna tell you how jacked up it is. I see, you know, one of the cats at the Israelis gay at the cart.
Which one?
The cat that wears a pink hat.
I know which one.
Long story short, Judah walked they was so gay that the gay dude at the car said he don't even like them cats. I was
Damn.
like, damn.
Too gay for me.
It was too gay for me.
Yeah, because Judah goes over the top. It's like, you gotta be gay, but you gotta be like the flaming hot Cheeto that just floats through the mall with, bruh, there was one cat that ran up on me with the tight jeans. Who was there? You were there. He had the bald head, the women's jeans, the women's shoes, and the bag. And he just prancing around
Big
like,
boy?
what y'all got over here? Yeah, he was like 300 pounds. It's like, bruh, stop.
He went to the Apple store.
And he went to the Apple store. He knew he wanted to go to Victoria's Secret. Yeah, could they do that? But that's the problem with our people. But look, let me show y'all something. Where we at? Read Psalms.
Psalms 83, chapter 2.
Right.
Verse 2. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and that they have hate. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
Right. Let me show y'all something. Because we read that Galatians, right? Where it said, but now, Galatians 4 and 9. But now, after you have known the Most High, or rather are known of the Most High. So you got to think about this. You know, we came up out of slavery, right? We came up out of slavery, and then what do? We tried to do our own thing. Black power, brown power movements, right? Black Wall Street, the Crips, the Blood, WIC program, Black Panthers, Black Lives Matter, right? Which is a white group, but let's deal with not things so recent. The reason why I point out these older things is because we started to understand our condition and that we had to do better. But see, the problem was, when you read Galatians, it said, but now, after that, you have known God. So we knew that there was a God. In the 60s, 80s, we knew that we were God's children. We knew that. But guess what? It says, or rather known of God, how ye turn again to the weak and beggarly elements. You know what we did? Even after we understood Black Lives, Black Wall Street, Black Power, Black Panthers, Brown Pride, right? The Mexicans and blacks are brothers. Guess what we still did? We turned our back on that. We turned our back because even that with the wisdom tried to enter into that. The problem was we were building without wisdom. So we returned again to the weak and we returned to our first state. And what happened? Now you go to Cali, you got blacks versus Hispanics, right? You got light-skinned blacks versus dark-skinned blacks. We returned away from the wisdom once again. Now we're back to this state of now the enemies is making a tumult. And you know, in that tumult, what was the most detrimental thing they did? It was the feminist movement. Where it ain't just black women, we gonna give all women rights. We gonna make y'all equal to men in pay. Do they get equal pay now? Yeah. No? What is it, like a penny off? Well, they get more pay. Ooh. They get more pay because they get food stamps. They get everything. Hey, you gotta, man, to be a man and get some food stamps, you damn near gotta have no limbs and literally just be out there.
Women are more inclined to actually get a business loan.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a guy, man, when I was in Japan, he had his wife do his business loan because he was getting denied.
Yeah.
She got accepted because he was trying to get the gym together.
Yeah.
But they're more inclined to get business loans.
Think about it, because this is a woman's world. They gave y'all the feminist movement. And then what did that do? That empowered you more and more. Now we're equal. Now we can do the same jobs. Now we can be men.
I hate men tattoos.
I hate men tattoos, but I hate men, but I'm going to look like one.
Right.
Think about it.
I walked in the AutoZone today. Women running everything.
Yeah.
What you mean?
But they weren't just women. It wasn't like, damn, she fine.
Yes.
It was like, what the damn. She more butchy. It's like she pull up the car battery, and it ain't nothing. It's like her lifting this microphone. She just hoisting car batteries on her back. What y'all need? Right. It's like, what the, like, damn. You more gangster than me. You more stronger than me. But they gave that because we were getting out of a state of the women running everything, and they seen it. So it says the enemies, they created a atonement, right? They took, read verse 3.
God.
Psalms 83 and verse 82, 3 and verse 3.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Yeah, listen, we're going to create this feminist movement. We're going to give all women power. So that way it ain't just black women. We're going to give all women power. So now we're going to put all men under women. We're going to make it literally a woman's world. Where if a woman says rape, it happened. We ain't going to take no names. We ain't going to find out what happened. We're going to arrest the man. If a woman says this, it got to happen. Woman says this, it got to happen. We ain't going to do certain things, but we're going to make sure we keep the woman over y'all. Read on.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Read.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Yeah, because now, think about it. What's that?
Well, I was just going to say, like, when you were saying that, like, the government believes anything that the woman says as far as, like, rape and stuff, there's a lot of African-American men that have been in prison and basically falsely accused of doing
rape
stuff.
Yeah, because it's a woman's world. It's like, because men are what? Brute beast rapists.
Ooh.
And women are soft, tender, delicate little flowers that when they say something, it goes. I got you wrapped around my little pinky. That's the mentality. But it's with everything. Now I'm going to control you when it comes to the kids. Now, when you want to see your kids, you got to have visitation. If you ain't paying us the right amount of money, you can't see your kids. Oh, the child support ain't coming? Nope, you ain't seeing your baby. Not until I give my money, right? Because mama got to get her nails did, hair did, new shoes, car tires, car, right? I got to hit the club, pop bottles. What about the diapers and baby milk? What about that? But see, that's the thinking. It's like, how can we further oppress? Read on.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Yeah, because how do you have a nation without men? How? You can't. How do you have a nation with a bunch of submissive punks?
Well, they have sperm donors.
Right. But then all you're doing is raising more submissive punks. You don't have a, without men, I'm talking about not males. Not males, men. Without men, you don't have a nation. You just got a bunch of wimps. And bullbag lesbians. Right? And you got lesbian men. Right?
Verse 5.
Read verse 5.
But they have consulted together with one consent.
Yeah, all these nations consulted like, yeah, we gonna take y'all out. Read.
They are confederate against thee.
Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Who?
The tabernacles of Edom.
Read.
And the Ishmaelites of Moab.
Right.
And the Hagarenes.
Right, because as far as I understand that, the ones that come up with all the laws and agendas, I don't see Ishmael doing that. I don't see the Arabs doing that. Right? The one that makes all the laws, statutes, health, this, that, the Surgeon General, the Attorney General, the DA, the this, the that. Where's the Middle Easterner in that? It said Edom, read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
Also Ishmael.
And the Ishmaelites.
Read.
Of Moab and the Hagarenes.
And Moab. Because guess what? Whatever you need in your hood, there's always a Chinese food store for the rescue. Whatever you need in your hood, there's always Ishmael there to sell you the liquor and give you the cigarettes and the blunt wrap.
Yes, sir.
They consulted it. They were confederate against us. But Edom taking the lead.
You know the crazy part about that? When Most High started off naming them, he started off naming your brother and your cousin.
Yeah, your brother and your damn cousin. You know what's funny? It's like when you name the ingredients, the ingredients on the back of a package, the first ingredient is the most. Yeah, the first ingredient is the most. The first name called here was the most important. There's a reason why he called Edom. Because guess what? Esau is the ringleader for all these nations. Read on.
Verse 7.
Jebal.
And Ammon. And Amalek.
Read.
The Philistines.
Read.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Read.
A servant also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot. Salah.
You see that? So we gotta understand, man. It's showing a few things that, listen, Esau is the white man. I don't give a damn what nobody online got to say. You can't, there's nothing that you can show me that can change that because of what's been going on through history. That you can't refute the Bible and history. That's one. Two, we're seeing that it was an intricate plot to remove the male from the power. The most powerful thing on this earth is a black, Hispanic, Native American family. You don't have a family without the man. That's what sisters got to realize. You will never have a complete family structure if your man ain't the man. He's the male. We know that. He's automatically he's going to be the male. He got the penis. Right? But what makes him the man is his wisdom. It's his wisdom according to the Most High in Christ. And if he's using said wisdom, pardon. If he's using said wisdom to guide the household, you can't try to trump that with your wisdom. Because then there's chaos and anarchy. Right? Now you back to, you might as well be slaves. You might as well be on a plantation. Picking cotton for the white man. Finn. that means done. Nah, but no, that's it. Oh, and one more point I wanted to make. This is about the feminist movement real quick. Watch this. I pulled this up. It says the positives of the feminist movement. Read that real quick. I highlighted it and I highlighted it.
All right.
Yeah, the positives of the feminist movement. Watch this.
Positives of feminism.
Uh-huh.
When women are given equal power due to feminism, they develop a self of belongingness, which encourages them to contribute more to the people around them, both personally as well as professionally.
Nothing wrong with that. They develop a self of belongingness, right? But see, the problem is with our women today, they get prideful. It's like, not only do I belong, nigga, I'm owed something. Right? Now watch this. Watch one of the negatives of feminism.
Negatives of feminism. Feminism leads to the undermining of traditional values.
Yeah, so now that I belong, guess what? My traditions and values are out the door. Y'all see that? How can it be a positive that it's belongingness, but then one of the negatives is there's no family traditions? Go ahead.
And power of a woman, which is her family and loved ones.
Right. See, now there's no traditional family upbringing. Think about it. Think about it. I just said it. Without a family, there is no power. There is no nation. So they gave y'all feminism so that you didn't have the traditions, the moral compass to say, let me be what I was supposed to be. Let me be a mom. Let me be a wife. Tower of death. Let me raise my children in the Most High in Christ so that now I can produce little Christ lovers instead of little slaves. See, if we broke our children into Christ the way we break our children into being basketball players, football players, faggots, lesbians, butch dykes, bull dykes, backdoor busters, right? Little backdoor bandits. If we booty thieves, if you broke your child, that's because I had to use that. If you broke your child into a fear of the Most High in Christ, man, we'd already be in the kingdom. What's up? What you got?
There's one scripture just on that.
Pull it.
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 30
and
verse 3.
And then we're gonna end it.
Yeah, and this is right on point about about raising children. But what kind of children?
Yeah. What? Oh.
Like you said.
Desiring not a multitude of unprofitable. Is that where you went?
Oh no.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going for more context.
Go ahead.
Nah, it's Ecclesiastes 30 and verse 3.
Read.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
Yeah.
And it's not about giving to the
that's
enemy.
a nice one.
What about the sports star? Or he's a doctor? Nah, he grieves the enemy. And how? Teaching his people, understanding that who his enemy is. I know who my enemy is.
Plus now he's no longer that son is no longer profitable to that enemy. Because now I'm teaching my son that, guess what? Trust not your enemy. Never trust your enemy. Don't go work for your enemy. Build your own. Now the enemy's looking back like, damn, that's one less nigga on the workforce. That's one less nigga I can use and abuse. And then guess what? You build that. Now I got 10 less niggas. 15 less niggas. All of a sudden, I got a whole nation of people that are no longer valuable to me because I can't use them. Now they're not profiting me. So yeah, I'm grieved. Like, oh, nah. I gotta send my sons out here to work. That's it on that?
Okay.
So y'all see that? Also, yeah, I mean, the one I thought of, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children. Why? Because there's no profit in you building them to go work and deal with the white man. You should be, man, listen, I'm going to say this, man. I wish I didn't have to send my daughter to school. I wish. But the way this is set up is like you almost have to. For them to learn how to maneuver through society. Because that's what it's about these days, is maneuvering through society. Learning what society is about and then flipping it on its head. You know, but if we could, listen, homeschool all day, because at the end of the day, you don't even need society's tricks to maneuver. All you really need is the Most High in Christ. Y'all see that?
Done.
Any questions? Any questions?
Live.
Any questions? Damn, something hit me. Allergies. Any questions? Any questions online?
Live.
I don't even have allergies. That's terrible. Man, they're taking crafty counsel against me. It could be. Yeah, I'm done. I gotta be done with that. Anything? Alright, well, I know I took y'all over 30 minutes. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all being patient. Just wanted to get the class out, man. Definitely wanted to get this out. Appreciate y'all online for sticking through. If y'all got questions, hold them until Wednesday. We'll be back, same bat time, same bat channel. Any donations? Any monetary donations? They're always welcome. We got the Wells Fargo account, 101-580-6167. We got the Google Wallet under ISBHPK at Gmail. Anything you want to give, any pre-offerings, any alms, donations, we need them. We need them for Trinidad to get that going. And it's going, but to keep it going. Books, dictionaries, Bibles, pens, papers, apocryphers, Babylon Timbuktus, Zondervans, whatever y'all can give, we appreciate it, all right? If there's no other questions, the water, and we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.
It goes in. It goes in, baby. Let's rise and face these.